Alright, so we are going to be doing a one-shot over the next couple hours, playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, going from Chuck's Dragons, one of the stories there, by Frog God Dreams, written by Bill Webb and Matt Finch. These are the players. I'll be DMing. I'm Kyle. Alright. I know about his character. Are you going to tell me anything about your character?
So I am a fighter dwarf named Aldrich Battlehammer. I am 257 years old. I'm taking the Outlander background. My backstory is that he left his mountain clan at a young age of 80 years old, set off on his own. He's been weapons smith in the mountain and decided he was tired of that and wanted to set off on adventure and has been traveling for quite some time.
Alright. Good stuff.
I'm a drow swashbuckling rogue named Elwis. I come from the Underdark. I'm now a far traveler. I've left the Underdark as I'm a fugitive there. They say I stole from the Duke, but really I stole from the Duke's daughter.
That's
And,
well.
She can't get it back. So,
Alright.
I'm now far traveling.
Alright. Sounds good. Alright. Ignore the camera. Alright. So, we are in a small town. You have just gotten off the boat at this port city and walk into the tavern. Inside, you see at the bar a dwarf, a human male, and a young boy being chided by the barmaid. You overhear her saying, Don't fill people's head with stories of how to get rid of the dragon, and don't go off into the woods looking for goblins anymore either. As you hear this in the background, you sit down at the bar and order a drink. The human at the other end of the bar starts carrying on a story about a red dragon named, I have this here, Archonodrous, and just kind of mumbling about him, and you assume that this is the same red dragon that the boy was getting chided about, not filling people's heads with dreams about. The dwarf is you, Weston, just so you know.
Gotcha.
Alright, so that's what you guys have.
So, barmaid boy, man at the end of the table, and a dwarf.
Yes, in between you and the sailor, now mumbling semi-coherently about a red dragon.
So
But my glass is full of rum.
Yes. You got a full glass in front of you.
I'm intrigued to see how this goes.
I'm just drinking at the bar, not talking to anyone.
Alright.
Yeah, so I take my glass and swish it around a little bit in a swashbuckling-like manner, and in a best British accent that I will not repeat. Ask the man to tell me more of this dragon.
In my head, I heard that in British.
In your mind, you heard it
I
as British?
have a bagel fish in my ear.
That's excellent. This translating my American into British.
Yep.
Were you going with like a Cockney accent, or which accent were you going with? I just wasn't sure.
I heard it in really, really Cockney. Yeah.
Oh, see, I was thinking more like
Eliza Doolittle.
debonair.
Oh.
I was thinking.
I didn't hear that.
We need to work on your bad it seems to be.
I never-
I heard, hello, tell me more about this dragon.
I didn't know Battlefish translated English to English, but some of those accents, it's needed.
Yeah, it's in the settings.
It's in the settings.
But you have to jailbreak it. You have to jailbreak it to do that.
Do you want to adjust the camera if I were to lean back and I'm like this? I don't know.
Yeah, we could.
Here now.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's gone on.
Okay. Just sit in that chair.
No, for the future. I want everyone to be able to see me.
Yeah. Alright.
Save for posterity.
All right.
Okay. You say something more. You're ignoring that
I'm ignoring them.
for the time being.
Drinking.
The human man gets up and shovels himself over. Says, "Let me." You see that he only has one leg. The other is wooden from the knee down. He says, "Let me tell you the story of Joshua the sailor. Me and my crew were stranded here when our ship was burned 30 summers back by this red dragon's fire. Burned the ship, burned the town, and fled. The town hasn't seen him since then, but the word is he's holed up in the mountain." As he orders another drink, you hear the boy still pleading with his mom in the background. "Mom, they're not tales, they're not stories. I heard the goblins say that there's a secret entrance." She slaps the boy, and he retreats into the back of the bar to go do some chores.
In the mountain, you say?
To the boy?
Yes.
Yes.
Before he leaves.
The boy turns and he said, "Yeah, but," and his mom looks at me because it's like, "I gotta go do my chores." You see him head into the back.
So I'm going to go ahead and use Panache, a 9th level rogue swashbuckling feature.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a charisma roll for persuasion against the woman's wisdom.
Okay.
And so my persuasion is plus 16. I probably am going to win.
Yeah.
So 11 plus 16, I just rolled a 27.
Yeah, as long as you can get a negative like 3.
I didn't get a negative 3. So I succeeded on my check, and as the woman, I'm assuming that the woman is not currently hostile to me.
No, not to you. You're supposedly a paying customer.
She is charmed by Minute. She regards me as a friendly acquaintance, and the effect ends immediately if me or my companions do anything harmful, which I don't do. I saunter with a empty glass as I down my rum, put my arm around the maid and say, "Why don't you come with me and we'll get another glass of rum together."
All right, she follows you.
She follows me, thus allowing the dwarf to go find out. I make a sleight of hand movement to him, pointing at the boy.
Okay. So I gotta follow what? Tell me about this secret entrance. You hear the goblins? No.
Yeah, there's a band of goblins that have been raiding the farms. They're out in the woods. I stumbled across their camp while I was trapping the day before last, and just made it back this morning. And they said that they found a back door to Archonodrous keep. Just a way to get in that the dragon wouldn't see you.
Interesting. What farms have these goblins been raiding?
All on the outside of town. We're a small community, but there's lots of farms around here. Most of them growing just regular, food staples, but some with cattle. And the goblins have mostly been just poaching any of their tools that they could and goods. They've been bothering us for a couple weeks now, but we don't have anybody in town to take care of them.
Well, it's a good lad. And I flip him a copper piece. And then
His face lights up as he looks around to make sure nobody saw it, pockets it, heads back to do some dishes.
Me and the barmaid are doing some slightly PG related activities.
Okay.
reading books.
Reading books.
Flying kites.
Flying kites. Drinking rum.
We got a montage going.
There's a whole montage. It starts off with a twin bicycle, a tandem bicycle, and she's pedaling and I'm not.
Start of every true romance.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes. Your charm lasts for 1 minute?
Correct. Well, she's charmed for a minute, but I still have quite a bit of panache.
Yeah. Now with panache, with the regular charm spell, they'll know afterwards that they were charmed with panache. But
It doesn't. It just says they're charmed for you by a minute.
Okay. Well, if it doesn't say that, then afterwards, then
It doesn't specifically say.
since charm specifically says that.
I think it just is indicating that I'm a highly charismatic person, and so my smile at barmaids has gotten me a few free drinks over the years.
She's quite happy to use her position as an employee there to keep rum coming to you and her at a table.
This is what I was looking for, and so
she enjoys your company.
And so I say,
I've never met a drow before.
Oh well, it's it's just as exciting for you as it should be. And I say, the boy was just talking about a dragon. What tales are being told?
No one's seen the dragon since before I was born. He's long gone. He's dead. Everybody says that at the top of Blue Mountain he lives in some cave there and has a giant hoard, but there's no one's found it and no one's seen of him since before I was born, which wasn't too long ago. You gauge her to be in her early 20s.
Well,
oh yeah, she's human, for the record.
I don't get the sense that Alois much cares. Yeah,
That works.
I don't know that that's going to be a problem for him.
At the mention of Blue Mountain, Joshua, the sailor, still at the bar behind you. You just hear him shout, "Sword of the Worm!" and goes back to drinking.
Sword of the Worm, you say?
Oh, that's just one of Joshua's tales. And don't pay any attention to him. He's a drunk old has-been.
Yes, but sometimes those are just interesting, even if for a laugh. And I say, hey, Joshua, tell me more of the Sword of the Worm.
He shambles over with his peg leg and his one good leg and says, "Oh, it's the only sword that can kill a dragon. It's a magnificent blade. It's part of the dragon's hoard, along with other gold jewels, and other magical items.
Interesting.
It's the only reason no one could get rid of him, because he holds the weapon that could end his life."
Does Joshua's drink have more than mine?
It did before he started walking over. He dropped some.
Okay, but relatively full.
Yes, he's still relatively full.
So mine is relatively empty without him noticing. Those get switched.
Okay, that works. I'll make you roll on that. He's pretty drunk.
Fair enough.
He retreats out of the bar, still holding his glass that's mostly empty, into the night. He seems to be retiring to wherever it is that he's going to spend the evening or the rest of the night.
It's already evening time at this point?
Yes, yeah, it's evening time.
Okay. Would we have already, or would I have already gotten a room?
Yeah, you're there. So you've been there. You were in town, maybe to trade some wares or see if your skills could be of any use on your travels. Yeah, so I'll let you control that part of the story as to how much you set up before. So if you want to say that you've already secured a room, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I would say I've already got a room set up for the evening.
With both you guys being level 20 characters, you're pretty established and have a decent amount of pocket change on you.
That's fair. In fact, it's quite good. As I'm now a rich person, I spend the rest of the evening in the tavern.
All right,
There's no reason to go on that adventure.
that's okay for the evening.
This evening. No, I'm talking about this game is going to reach me
This
hitting
entire-
on
Well, I mean, you got, like I said, pockets. You got some gold pieces. You don't have too much.
I understand. So, but he seems to be the other adventurer in the room. Is there literally no one else in the room?
There's only a few other people in the bar, and they're just local townsfolk.
But he would be the one that would interest me.
Yes, he definitely stands out. The rest are just humans. This appears to be a mostly human settlement, if not all human.
So walking a gold coin over my knuckles,
That would attract attention.
I'm 100% okay with that.
Okay.
That's just, in fact, my entire life is attracting attention.
So he's just sitting down at the bar?
Yeah, well, he's sitting down at a table. He moved from the bar to a table.
Yeah. So I'm ignoring him. I mean, my back's to him. I'm just just drinking my ale.
All right.
So then I approach him, like I say, rum in one hand and gold piece just walking over my knuckles. And I say, Dwarf, what do you make of this dragon?
Sounds like an interesting tale.
It does. Well, I'm going to go into the mountains, and I've found that dwarves are most useful there.
You have much time with dwarves?
I have much experience with most of this world.
Being under this world, I take it.
I do come from the Underdark, but I'm comfortable wherever I am.
I may find my way into the mountain as well, but first I have to find a way in. Perhaps you'd wish to accompany me as I seek to go find out these goblins that supposedly know something about a secret entrance.
I could use for a little bit of fun.
Well, I'll set out in the morning. I'll be leaving at dawn. Trying to think what time in the morning. I'll be leaving at dawn. If you care to join me, I'll see you then.
I pay for my drinks, and before she knows it, I've received more change than I actually put down for my drinks. And go to my room.
All right. You guys head up to your room for the night. Dawn comes. You're standing at the doorway to the tavern. Do you join him?
He's unaware, but I'm actually already outside.
Ah,
Okay.
seeing that he is not inside, what would you wait around for him, or would you head out on your own?
No, I mean, I look around, not see him, and walk out the door.
All right.
So it's one of those, he's more capable than I thought he was, being a bit of a dandy. That's what I was going for. Maybe he can think what he wishes.
He will. Question. Since regarding equipment that we would have by level 20, or any kinds of, in terms of quantity of gold or potions for health or anything like that, I just used the starting equipment. Did you have anything beyond the starting
I think
equipment?
that's all I had.
Would it make sense for us to have a certain amount of gold to determine how we quantify it, and then we could go to a store and pick up some stuff?
In fact, this pre-generated kit said I had 5 gold pieces. So I may have 5 gold pieces. I got a piece of jewelry worth 10 gold pieces. I have a poorly drawn map of my homeland and a musical instrument.
Let's say you each have 20 gold pieces after having paid for your drinks and food and lodging the night before. You still have 20 gold pieces left, and you two are both pretty accomplished. And
Well, that's not going to buy us any health potions.
21 get you enough.
Oh no, health potions are
I'll get 50 much more.
they're 50 a piece.
We'll go 200 then. We'll just upgrade it.
Okay.
Want you to be able to get a cut. But not too much. I don't want you to spend the whole month in the tavern.
And so I set up a shop in the corner, playing 3-card Monty.
Trying to think his way. Okay, so walking out of the tavern, I guess I see you there. I keep on walking and don't even acknowledge him or anything.
You know that the mountains, because they're pretty easy to see, are north of the town where you are. Based on what the boy said, the village is pretty much surrounded by farmland. Do you want to head north towards the mountain? The port, which where you would have come from, will be on the west side of the town. And there's, just normal town stuff around you. There is a shop, just kind of a general store that would have some things, not everything that's available in the list,
Okay.
but would be able to outfit you decently for some dungeoneering, as far as maybe some ropes, some health potions, a pickaxe or so would go. Any sort of tools.
I mean, I do have an explorer's pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have an
So bad.
explorer's pack as well. In the interest of time, could we just tell you what we would want to buy?
Yeah,
So
that's fine. We don't have to roleplay the store.
Yeah.
On your way north towards the mountains, you stop at the store and purchase.
So I'm going to purchase, let's see here, where's my tools? Let's see here. I want to buy a potion of healing. Let's see, I'm proficient with, I'm not proficient. Are you looking as well?
I am, but I.
Let's say 2 herbalism kits. That's 10 gold right there. Let's see, so healing. A potion of healing. Actually, I'll just do one herbalism kit. I get ball bearings. 1,000 ball bearings. Hunting trap. Set of smith's tools, proficient smith's tools, but don't actually have them.
Alrighty.
Joel, you know what all you want?
Getting close. So I have an additional 10 to, or an additional 200 to the 5 that I had to start with. Slash, can I go to 202?
Can you go to 202? Let's see if you can bargain the person down.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and say I can. But what do you need? Do you need perception or persuasion?
Let's do a persuasion check on, we'll say 200 versus the 202. You know,
19 plus 16, I rolled a just under 40.
The old man tending the shop is glad to have somebody spending so much money here at one time. He's happy to give you a 1% discount.
All right, there we go. Then I do know what I want.
You get 202 gold worth of supplies for 200.
All right, so I'm gonna get caltrops, which are little spikes. That's like what the Batmobile drops out to. 2 potions of healing, 100 pythons, which are the little things that you 100 of them, and 1 vial of poison.
Okay.
And that equals 202. In addition to my explorer's backpack bedroll, and that's 10 torches, 10 rations, water skin, and 50 feet of hempen rope. 2 daggers, thieves' tools, 20 arrows, leather armor, a quiver, a short bow, a rapier, 1 musical instrument, which is a tin whistle, an Irish tin whistle, a gaming set, which we're going to go with the tin whistle, a poorly drawn map of my homeland, a piece of jewelry worth 10 gold pieces, and a pouch. The piece of jewelry worth 10 gold pieces totally used to belong to the daughter of the Duke. In the Underdark.
Got it.
Alright, and let's see here. For myself, what all did I get? Ball bearings, 1,000 of them, 2 potions of healing, hunting traps, smith's tools, grappling hook, and a healer's kit.
Alright. While there, the old shopkeep, upon being questioned, lets you know which farm was last attacked by the goblins just yesterday. They have raided and been chased off of one of the farmers' lands. It's one on the north side of town, which is convenient, and he also points out which of the peaks is the Blue Mountain.
Which is very thankful.
Yes.
Yeah,
Again, he's happy to have made 400 gold before most people have even come out of their houses.
Well, if he didn't sell it to me, I was totally going to sleight of hand.
Just take
100 pythons.
just one at a time.
Every time you jumped around, you just have
More. Alright, so you guys can head to the farm, you can head straight to the mountain, you can do something else.
I start headed for the farm. I say, I'm going to question the farmer, see what he knows about these goblins, see what they know about the mountain.
I'm eating an apple, but we're walking,
Alright, takes you about an hour. You see the farm, it's exactly where it's described by the shopkeep. There is a young boy, teenage years, out near the front of the property, just working the ground. Appears that they've got mostly grains and whatnot at this farm. He's going to tend to some corn. He sees you but doesn't say anything. Not sure if you're going to come to him or just pass by.
So I stop him and say, hello there, boy.
Yes, how can I help you?
I hear there have been goblins in this area.
Yes, we were just attacked yesterday, but me, my 2 brothers, and a pa, we drove them off.
Drove them off. Quite handy of you. What did you do?
just using what we have: rakes, shovels. My dad's got a sword from his younger days, and there were 5 of them. But we caught them in the barn, and were able to chase them out of there before they could really do any damage to us.
Which way did they go?
They headed just west of here, probably towards the stream.
Have you had problems with the goblins previous to this?
We haven't, but other farmers around here have been bothered for the last 2 weeks or so.
I look over at the drow and I say, well, I said we head west, find those goblins.
Wait, east. Did I say
East?
west?
I thought you said west.
My bad. East.
I think this is an excellent plan. Scout today, attack them tonight.
Okay.
It's still pretty early in the morning, just for the record. But you guys head east into the woods. Let's do a nature check, or anybody good at tracking here?
He is an
I can do survival. Let's see here.
I can as well. I'm much better at survival than I am nature.
Survival check. That'd be a 23.
That's going to be higher than I'm rolling, I'm guessing. Except for I rolled a natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. Using.
It's going to be my main one tonight. When you already rolled a 23, so I should maybe roll.
Don't waste that.
I did. I'm going to retire this dice.
It's pretty plain to see where the goblins fled into the woods. There's broken branches all around, tracked with undergrowth. They weren't far into the woods before they got onto a path that headed further east. The boy said there was a stream. It's probably kind of a trade route, not a road, but definitely a distinct path through the woods that the goblins got onto, heading further west. You're able to follow that until you get to a stream, and I guess just with such high rolls, you cast it out, and it looks like the goblins headed north along the stream bed. About midday, you hear some people talking. It's common, but you can safely assume that it's not human. It's probably goblin or orc or bugbear or something.
Okay.
What is bright daylight?
It's now high noon. You're in the woods, so it's not direct sunlight, but it's still lit around you. You can hear them, but not see them yet. You've traveled north along the stream.
Okay. And the sound of the voices coming from the north?
Yes, further ahead of you.
Okay.
So you use the term not direct sunlight.
Correct.
Okay.
You're in the woods.
Like light filtering through the leaves.
Yeah, something
Right. But it like specifically in Drow, it says that I've got disadvantage on direct sunlight. So
Yes.
that is not in effect.
Correct.
Okay. And as a life, I've spent the last 100 years as a Drow, I would be aware that I can actually see right now.
Okay.
So
You guys want to just continue? I mean, you can continue walking. I was letting you know where it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you decide what you want.
Right.
So I would stop whenever I perceive these voices. I hear them. I'd say to my companion, I think we need to go scout ahead and see what we're up against.
And I'm sure that falls once again on my shoulders, my very capable shoulders. So then I do.
Stealth check?
I very much stealth. And that is a 9 plus 17. That is a 20 something or another.
That's good.
Six.
Alright. Silently, you're able to creep ahead. There's not much growth along the stream bank, so you're good there. You don't have to step into the water, and you're not crunching into
But they're
the leaves.
speaking common.
They're speaking common.
Can I make out?
You get to the last little bit, you see them, and you duck into the woods behind some bushes, laying just 10 feet or so from them. You're able to hear clearly. They seem to be strategizing about where to attack tonight. You can hear 6 different voices Or you know, actually, darn it, messed that one up. You want to do a perception check?
16.
I'm just used to you guys roll high at this point. So.
16 plus 13.
Yeah,
I
okay.
rolled a 29.
Alright, you hear 6 different voices. You're able to distinguish 6 different voices. They seem pretty split down the middle as to whether or not to attack the same farm or move on to another one. You hear one of the ones that had wanted to move on to another one say, "We've already been here too long. We're supposed to move on to another town. They're going to find us sooner or later." So they're bickering back and forth about what to do.
Does Aldrich maintain visual? Like, can he see me?
You've lost sight of him once you stepped into the woods. He's about 40 feet back away from you.
40 feet.
So they're another 10 or so feet in front of you.
Yeah. I return to him. I say there's 6. I think, you know. Let's just go kill him.
6 goblins.
6 goblins.
I can take 6 goblins.
I
I pull my my warhammer from my back.
Fair enough.
My chest warhammer is
Nice. Yeah. So I'm gonna suggest that I go around and attack them, and I will funnel them straight to you.
Remember, we need at least one to tell us where this supposed entrance to the mountain is.
It's a fair point. We can do this. New stealth roll.
Yeah, we'll do a use stealth roll to go. I mean, at this point, I don't know what the stealth deployment is, just because I don't think you've rolled anything under 20.
Yeah. Well, for myself, I've got to roll.
I've got a plus 17 on stealth.
Yeah,
I do not, and I rolled a 10.
you rolled a 10.
So
Yeah.
perception, persuasion, stealth, and sleight of hand. I'm all in acrobatics. I'm plus 17 acrobatics. But everything else is like 1, 4, 0. Like it's just those few skills we've been using thus far. So yeah, I just rolled a 7 plus my 17. So I'm at what, 24 for my stealth.
All right. You head around. Now, how close are you trying to get Aldrich? Aldrich. Sorry.
I mean, I want to get up to him where I can see him and get eyes on him so I can figure out the best way to attack.
All right. So as you approach, you are able to get pretty close. You're poised on the other side. You said you were going to attack first. Right before you go in for an attack, though, one of the goblins looks up and sees Aldrich approaching their camp. You're going all the way up to it, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm a person.
Yeah. They see you and they scramble for their weapons. We'll roll initiative.
Okay, so they see me sneaking up. Very sneaky.
I got it. So 16 plus 9 is going to be a 25.
And I rolled a 15.
All right. So Joel, you are up first.
How far am I from them?
You have gotten right up to the edge of their camp. The ones that were facing toward you now have their back to you to face this new attacker. You'll have advantage on whatever attack roll you go with,
Okay.
because none of them are facing you. But just at the edge of their camp, you're about 10 feet away at this point.
So I've got drawn rapier and a dagger.
Okay.
Is there any of them by themselves that are separated from the rest of the group in any fashion?
No, there's just 6 of them there.
Okay. Well, let's see.
If you want, you could use the whiteboard as our battle map.
I can do that.
probably a decent idea.
I can
It is-
draw around this.
We'll have to erase this.
You can quite erase that.
What? This magnificent drawing of you on a boat with a sea monster? Alright.
It is okay to do. These can even be goblins.
We can do that.
It's a magnetic goblin.
Alright, you'll see my lack of artistry skills. Okay. That's alright, so we've got the stream on this side, the goblin camp, we've got their fire pit right here, and then we've got a couple tents set up there. The goblins themselves are all crowded in the middle, and we've got just kind of a tree line coming this way, but not so much so along the stream.
And they're all sitting
How many views do we have? Oh no, these will be you guys.
Okay.
We've got Aldrich here, you're right up here, and we've got the goblins, 6 of them.
That's an excellent idea.
That's a good idea. Just kind of around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nice and simple.
Where did you say I was?
You are up at the top here. Oh no, sorry, you're down there. You're down here. Yeah.
Alright.
So you're Aldrich. This is Elvis.
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 Okay.
Okay.
Elvis attacks first.
Yes.
This will be fun because you can erase and move stuff around.
Yeah.
What I really think we should
rectangles?
make it more
I'm sorry, what are the
rectangles?
those are their tents.
Okay. Gotcha.
Those are their tents.
So 2 goblins per tent. Okay.
Yeah. So they draw 4 draw short swords. No, scimitars, and 2 draw short bows.
Okay.
Again, they are all facing you.
Alright.
But they're all
clumped together. They
They're
were
all
just
clumped
powered. Yes.
okay. Well then, I, as an action, cast darkness, which I can do as a drow, and so a 15-foot radius sphere for the duration, which can be up to 10 minutes, so long as I maintain concentration. A creature, even if they have dark vision, can't see through this darkness, and a non-magical light can't illuminate it. If so, point you're just an object holding the thing.
It's 15 feet around.
A
the point that you
15-foot
choose,
radius, correct.
Okay.
And so up to 60 feet from myself, which is I am, and so centered on their
So you guys
fire.
have 10 feet between from here to here. It's pretty much the same for all that.
So he's back.
So and I did 15 feet.
Yep.
Square. So it's actually all of this is now covered in darkness. And
Well,
not
no, it'd be 10. Wait, 10 foot
15-foot
radius.
radius.
a 15-foot radius sphere.
Oh, okay.
Sphere.
Oh yeah. So
This entire section is now covered in magical darkness that no one can see. Even if they have dark vision.
magic dwarf! Magic dwarf!
And also as a drow, if I'm within 5 feet of someone, so long as I can, I've got blind sense. So if I can hear, I'm aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creatures. So long as I continue to hear them, I'm good in the darkness, and they're not.
Okay.
So I run in there.
Yeah, they're scrambling around.
Okay. So that was my action. As my bonus action, I'm going to do disengage so that none of them have an attack of that one. And so I'm in and amongst them, and that is what I do.
Okay. You rolled higher than they did.
So it's my turn?
Yes.
Well, at this point, it's pitch black.
I didn't realize
So-
that 15 feet. I thought that 15 feet was going to be them, and there'd still be.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
think 50-foot diameter?
No, I didn't realize that the clearing was only 10 feet.
Oh yeah. It's pretty small.
Fair enough. I just didn't realize I was going to completely cover them.
Okay, so I'm going to run in, and I am going to just swing where I know that I last saw Goblin number 5. I'm running in that direction.
Okay.
If you want to move me up to him, and I'm going to swing right where he was with my battle hammer.
Okay, I'm going to give you disadvantage on this one.
Yeah. It's my war hammer, excuse me.
Get it right.
Yeah. So
I'm
going to
into
damage
those hammers.
16 or 20. So 16.
16, that hits.
Alright. And damage, let's see, it's 1d8 plus 4. Right. There's 6 damage.
Alright, 6 damage. As you bring your. Do you want to describe the hit? You okay?
No, you can do it.
Alright, as you take your warhammer and just swing it down right on top of him, you hear cracking bones as a thud as somebody weakly crumbles to the ground. And she's like,
Okay.
He's. You wish you just killed him. It's now just sad and pathetic. Like a frog like I ran over but didn't quite die.
Okay, well, I am going to attack him again. The same guy.
Swing it down. You lift up your hammer and.
Well, I roll still a disadvantage on this one.
Yeah, still a disadvantage because of the darkness.
That was 11.
At 11, you lift up your hammer and you strike down at the ground, but all you need is the hard earth.
Okay, I'm going to swing it again. I'm going to attack him again. That one is a 20.
20 hits. You connect and you just hear a squish and a splat and no more noise except for a noise to your left and you hear, Charlie?
Okay.
Is that you going to...
Okay. Hearing those bones crunching and him slumping to the ground, I swing again for my 4th attack at whoever was calling for Charlie's buddy. That is a 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
And it is 5. Actually, I forgot to add my proficiency. 9 damage.
9 damage. Swinging wildly to the left, your warhammer connects with a goblin and sends him sailing just back into the woods. You hear it crash and no noise afterwards.
Okay. I think I actually killed that guy on my first hit, but I forgot to add my proficiency. So
Probably.
Anyway.
So
okay.
we now...
Yeah. So now I know. So I added my proficiency. Okay, so he's
5 and 6.
Let's say I had to move a little bit to get towards that guy, so you can move me over to the 7 or 8 o'clock position. Yeah, right. Yeah, wherever that is. Yeah, just to try to get closer to him.
The goblins, number 4, could hear your attacks. Near him, he starts striking out wildly with his short sword.
Okay.
When you killed had a sword and when you killed had a bow.
Okay.
He has disadvantage on his attack roll, though. So that is going to be a 4 to hit.
That is a miss.
That is a miss. He just strikes wildly, hitting nothing. Goblin number 3 decides to try to make a run for it. As he runs, you hear a splash as he lands in the stream and tries to scramble across to get out of the darkness. Number 1 and 2 are just like, what's going on? What's going on? And you hear them as they, or we'll say just number 1, starts to spread out, heading towards that noise that he heard in the woods, but doesn't want to quite go into the trees. So they've got to spread a little bit. And that's the goblin's move.
Okay.
2 and 4 don't do anything? Or 4 try to attack. But
Yeah, 4 trying to attack. 2 is just there with his bow. 2's the one with the bow still. Just kind of staring around.
Okay.
Not sure what to do. He doesn't want to hit any of his guys and has no idea where the foe is.
And
So
In that case,
Back to the top of your order.
I'm going to attack 2 with my rapier.
And that's because you can hear them?
I can. If I can continue to hear, and I'm within 5 feet of another creature, and I think I'm within 5 feet of another creature, then I know exactly where they are.
Okay.
And so I'm going to attack them with my rapier. That is a 14 plus 11 is a 25.
Yeah, it hits.
1d8. Which one is my d8? You are my d8. Is a 2. I guess that's plus 5 proficiency, right? So 7 plus a d6 for my rogue sneak attack is a 4. So 7 plus 4.
All right.
And I'm trying to be non-lethal, if that's possible.
Okay. Where do you stab him?
I
I
would.
assume with the rapier you'd be stabbing.
I'm mostly stabbing, so I'd like to take out a knee.
Take out a knee. All right. You stab him in the knee. We'll say you connect.
I was an adventurer like you once.
And
I took an arrow to the knee.
And as he goes down, he looses his arrow that he had notched. Does a 9 get you?
a 9 does not.
Okay. The arrow sails by you into the woods behind you as he falls to the ground, screaming, "He's got me! He's got me! The dwarf has got me!"
Which is probably news to the dwarf.
That's the only guy they've seen.
Fair enough. So at that point, I take my bonus action and I disengage.
Okay, you just leave him bleeding on the ground.
I leave him bleeding on the ground.
Okay.
And I use my movement to. I heard him run away from me. So I use my movement to follow in the direction that I heard him running towards.
Okay.
And once I get within 5 feet, I again know where he is.
Okay.
But I go half my movement because I'm doing so stealthily.
Okay. You could probably cover the 7.
If I can't,
that is stealthily.
Okay.
I'm not even going to make you roll for stealth at this point because you get plus 17 and that would be fine. You could roll. You could roll
Playing a
a
level
zero.
20 rogue is pretty nice.
I guess actually.
Do you want me to roll? Make
just
sure it's
in case
not
you
a
get a
critical
one,
fail.
in case you get
It's a 12.
It's a 12.
I think ones only matter in attack, technically.
Correct. Technically, but
It don't even matter.
I guess it'd be the DM's discretion if he wanted to do that.
I'm trying to make it hard on you guys so far.
How do you get the plus 17? I'm assuming proficiency is part of that.
so proficiency is part of that, and then rogues get
You get double
they get double proficiency, and then they get even triple proficiency, and so it's called.
That's nice.
But only on certain things.
Yeah.
So at shoot.
So whenever I make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework,
You're set, huh?
I can add double my proficiency instead of my normal proficiency bonus.
So at level 6, I get double proficiency.
That's very specific.
Anyway, so that's what happened. And I have fancy footwork. If I make a melee attack, that creature cannot do any, even if I don't do disengage.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's my turn.
All right, that's your turn. Aldrich.
Okay. I should have. I heard the commotion of that guy of feet running to the west, right? So I would have heard that. Would I have? I don't know if would I have been able to sense the difference between who that was, or would I have known that it was him, or in my
No,
mind?
you just know that it was feet leaving shortly after you hit something into that direction.
Okay. Am I able to? Would I have been able to hear 2 and 4 making any sounds so that I would at least be able to?
3 definitely splash.
Well, yeah, 3 definitely splashed. And actually, there were 8. Oh no, 2 still alive. You just heard.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard 4 kind of cursing as
Okay.
he tried to stab at the air,
Okay.
or slash at the air,
Okay.
and 3 splashing across.
Okay. I want to attack that guy, not knowing how many I sense that 2 have been taken out of the 6. I don't know how many he's taken out. I'm going to go like for his lower body. Try not to kill him, but definitely do a bunch of damage.
You take a
So
step toward with a swipe again.
and disadvantage. That was a natural 20 or a natural 4 plus 4, 8.
8. You miss.
Okay. Stepping forward a little bit more, trying to reach out and find him. So I'm moving towards 4 here. I swing again with a 15.
15 hits.
15 to hit, and it does 9. Yeah, 9.
Well, you're specifically trying not to kill him.
I'm trying not to kill him. I'm just trying. I'm swinging for the lower torso or lower like legs or something like that, so I can hurt him.
Your hammer hits both flesh and the ground as it kind of drags on the ground. You hear a cracking of bones, and a weight falls on top of it as it passes under him. You have broken at least one, if not more, of his legs as he falls.
All 3?
The well-endowed goblin falls to the ground.
There's no funds in there.
Not anymore.
He falls to the ground, cursing at this unseen foe, and says, "He's got me too. He got me too."
So their name really is 2. He got me, comma 2.
Yes, there's a comma TOO.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna. Let's see here.
Got me also.
Yeah. I want to. Let's see here. Yeah, hearing him fall to the ground. Let's see here. At this point, I can't see anything, or I don't know what's going on. I think.
Want to give you another chance before we move on to the goblin's turn?
No.
Since I know you have a few.
Drow, lift this darkness. I can't see a thing.
You hear one of the goblins go, "What's a drow? What's it?" All right.
I don't
It's the
respond.
goblin's turn.
I don't
At this
respond.
point. Number 4 is just going to continue to slash around.
He's on the ground, right?
He's on the ground. So
Okay.
we're giving him double disadvantage.
I don't think that's really how it works. Disadvantage.
You can't do double disadvantage?
I mean, you could if you wanted to be nice to me, but I think it's just disadvantage.
So you roll 3 times to take the worst.
That's what I did. Yeah, there's between 11 and 14. Do either of us hit?
No.
Yeah, disadvantage was 14.
Yeah.
That was 11. Okay. So he continues to hit nothing. Number 2 does the same thing, just striking out again.
They're on the ground, like,
I don't even know why I rolled for number 2. There's nobody around him.
If you're aware of what he attacked.
Just slashing madly.
Had you been there?
Did he attack at the fire?
Well, it's an empty fire pit, so there's no fire going at this point. Number 1 hears his friends not doing too well, and he tries to dash into the woods and runs smack into the body of his fallen friend, and he just sits there screaming, now tangled up in the bushes, and also having a corpse on top of him. Number 3 continues to move away.
Okay. So
He is gone. He's just out.
he's just disappeared.
Alright.
He's gone from there.
So I'm within 5 feet of
Number 1?
number 1.
Yes.
So I know where he is. I attack him with my rapier. That is a 13 plus 11 is a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
That hits.
I just want to make sure.
You're trying to kill this one, right?
This one I would like dead. So that's 2 plus 5 is 7 plus 3. No, actually, my sneak attack is. Oh, I forgot. At level 20, sneak attack in 1d6 is 3d6.
You got 7 plus 3?
7 plus 3
He's alright.
plus 3 plus 1.
His screams come to an end.
Okay.
And now there are just 2 corpses tangled together in the bushes at the edge of the encampment.
I don't know if this technically works, but at this point I use my Can I use my reaction to drop my concentration?
Yeah, that will be fine at this point.
Okay, so I use my reaction, I guess, call it that, to release my concentration and light up.
All right.
You know,
The darkness is lifted, dissipated instantly. The two goblins laying on the ground. One, his kneecap torn open. The other sitting with a just crumpled mess beneath his body. Both kind of half sitting up, supporting themselves on one elbow, holding their swords at the ready. Number 2 will probably bleed out before number 4 does. Number 4 just going, "We did nothing to you. We did nothing to you."
I cast the dancing light cantrip,
Okay.
which is again another drow. 4 torch-sized lights I can create within range, which the range is 120 feet. I can also combine the 4 into a glowing, vaguely humanized form of medium. That's not what I want to do. I want to do just 2 torch-sized lights, but I want them to be right in their faces. So they both have torch lights immediately in their face.
Got it. Blinded by light, they try to scoot back as quickly as possible.
Those move so that they stay right in the guy's face.
Okay. One backs, or number 2 backs into his tent, or into the tent, which then collapses on top of him.
By the way, you can end concentration at any time, no action required.
Oh,
There you go.
so we're within the rules as written.
Yes.
How nice.
The tent collapses on number 2 as he moves back into it. Number 4 has decided to just give up, and he lays down his weapon and then lays down.
All right. So holding my my warhammer in 2 hands, I say, "So I hear you've been causing trouble for the farmers."
That was them. That was them. I wanted to leave.
You'll all be leaving. None of you will be coming back here again. But before you do, tell me about the Blue Mountain. I hear there's a entrance known to you kind. Where is it?
Yeah, yes. I know. You hear number 2 scream, "Don't tell him nothing!" Number 4 says, "I'll tell you whatever you want as long as you let me live. I mean, maybe we can even share some of the gold. There's a lot of gold.
I killed
there.
number 2.
Okay?
During this time, number 2's throat is slit.
Number 4 hears the gurgle of his last companion and goes, maybe no gold. That's fine. Just, I can, you'll have to carry me. If you carry me, I can show you where it is. I can show you where you'll have to carry me. I'll show you.
Tell me where it is.
It's on the mountains. It's hard exactly to get to. There's the big cave entrance. There's the big cave entrance. But if you go to the big cave entrance, you'll see everything that everybody normally sees. But if you go around the back, you gotta climb up a little bit. If you climb up above the regular cave entrance, about 10 feet, you get to another path, and you just follow that path all the way around the mountain to the exact opposite side. And there's a little entryway, just a little crack in the wall. Nobody knows about it. I can show you how to get there. I gotta show you how to get to the main cave. He's not stopping.
Okay.
How long ago was it that number 3 ran away?
Let's see, 2 turns, so 12 seconds.
Right, at 50 feet per second. So he's a couple hundred feet. So theoretically still within hearing range?
I guess in theory, if you can hear that far in the woods, but he has no intention of coming back.
Yeah.
he's running.
I'm going to try and persuade him to return.
Okay.
So I call out and I say, what were they thinking? Goblins?
Yes.
I said, Goblin, come back and restore your honor.
No, thank you.
No, thank
No roll for persuasion.
I said he's just mad and I wouldn't even be so sure that he would hear you, even if the audio reached him. He wouldn't be listening.
Do you want to kill that goblin?
Number 4?
Number 3.
The one that ran.
I'll
Do you want me to kill that goblin?
Chase him if you wish.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I start to dash after the goblin.
You start to dash after the goblin. Okay. What's your movement with dashing?
60.
60.
I
Okay.
assume he's probably dashing as well.
Yes. Yeah, he's dashing as well. So he has the same.
So
Same
basically,
speed
I would
as you.
never catch.
Yeah, you would
How
never
far-
catch him.
do I see him?
You can see where he's been, especially where he got out of the water. It's still wet.
So I just want to. I'm going to do a very half-hearted. I'm going to be gone for like 5 minutes. If I can see him within those 5 minutes enough to loose a couple arrows, otherwise I'm coming back.
All right. Yeah, we'll say you're able to see him. You can try loosing an arrow with all the thick woods around there. You're going to have
It's not going to
disadvantage.
happen. Okay, then I return.
Okay.
I just am not a fan of having that guy leave and speak of us, but that's what it's going to be.
So only number 4 remains. Let's see. Where's the main entrance to the mountain?
It's you gotta take. There's several paths up the mountain. You gotta take the right one. I don't know exactly how to describe it. There's caves all over the mountain, but you gotta get to the right one if you want the dragon's gold. It's just hard to describe. It's like telling somebody how to get through the woods. Once you're in the woods, they're all just trees. It's mountains, a bunch of rocks. It's a bunch of rocks with grass. There's some trees on it. I don't know how to tell you. You go to the mountain.
Stop talking. The only way you go with us is if you stop talking.
Yeah, no, I'm really good. I'm really good at shutting up. I can do that.
Okay, so question. As an outlander, feature an excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout, terrain, settlements, and other features around you. Would I, having spent any time in this area, have any kind of knowledge of this mountain?
You've seen it, but you have not ventured to the mountain.
To do that. Okay.
How you came to this was actually through a different mountain pass.
Okay.
You haven't set foot on that particular mountain.
Okay. So at this point, the goblin, he's like a crumpled up paraplegic, right?
Yes, his legs are just like withered, smashed bits.
Okay.
So I ask him, but I also start checking. Is there anything worth taking?
Sure, let's do
I mean, we can do
investigation.
investigation.
Do investigation as well.
Oh, goodness.
I say, stay there.
So I rolled a 6.
No problem. I'll stay right here. Does he still have the light?
He does.
Do you think we
I
can
rolled
turn
a
this off?
10.
Turn this off?
I'll turn it off if you tell me of any valuables that y'all have.
Oh, you just gotta check in our foot chest. Just look inside the tents. There's some chests inside each of the tents. Anything we got's in there.
Okay.
So looking into those chests, do we see
What'd you roll?
a 6?
A 6? You got a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. There's really nothing of value. They've mostly just been stealing farm equipment and food.
So nothing.
There's nothing
Plow,
too well.
a saddle, or a short.
Yeah, nothing too good. Nothing too good here. You find some bottles of something that you could tell is alcohol, but you have no idea what.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm drinking it.
So I take one of the tents
Make a little bit.
and I like cut it out. Or is there like a sack? Are there any like sacks or anything? Like
No, there's no backpacks or anything like that.
I was wondering,
Okay.
like, if you took the tent and, I'm guessing there's some kind of sticks or whatever.
Yep.
We could take the cloth and just
Like
turn it
some
into a
poles.
stretcher or some kind.
Well, so what I was gonna do was basically, how much does this goblin weigh?
About 80 pounds.
And how tall is he?
About 4 feet.
4 feet tall. So what I was gonna
You
do,
start cutting off limbs.
I was no. I mean, they don't work anymore anyway. No,
They don't.
So
They're not bleeding out. at this
no,
point.
so I take my axe blade and I cut the like one side of it, the rectangular side, about this, maybe half this length of this table, and then I say, and I go and I pick up the goblin and I just set him on the thing on the
Before he does that, while he's putting together the litter, if
I just wrap it up like stork baby, the stork drop it up in baby style, and I just wrap him up in that.
But before he does that, I search the goblin and I make sure he's got no weapons or anything.
Yeah, no, he threw down his scimitar and that was
Right.
it.
Yeah, so I've got him wrapped up like a baby.
Like a hobo knapsack.
Yeah, basically, like all that's sticking out is his head. Like I've tied it around, so he's like just bundled up
there.
in the thing. And
He's like, no, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll go to the bathroom. You might want to put me down, but this is gonna work.
and I from the tent, is there like a stick post or something like
Yeah,
that?
there's a.
So like I said, yeah,
There's
he's like a hobo knapsack, basically.
All right, you tie it, so he's hanging out behind you.
So I ask him, Goblin, how long is this journey?
It's gonna take us about a day and a half to get up there.
And I turn off the camera. So he doesn't have the wind anymore.
Oh, thank you.
Do you value your tongue?
You must. Yes.
Then don't use it.
It's gonna be hard to tell you where to go without using your tongue. Just saying.
Speak only as needed. Let's see here.
So I guess we'll go to the foot of the mountain.
Before we do that, I also I don't have a tent, so I'm gonna disassemble one of the tents.
There's only one left standing since you cut up one and the one had collapsed.
Yeah, that's the only one he needs.
Well, it collapsed, so it's still good.
It's still good.
It's like a house, like it broke.
It's got some goblin blood on it. Since it's
I've got a backpack, a bedroll, and a skit. I don't have a tent either.
Yeah, so I'm gonna roll up one of those.
all right.
And snap that on as
Fair
well.
enough.
All right. So I guess two are intact. One has goblin blood on it.
Mhm.
You take the bloodless one.
Yeah, the one without the blood on it.
All right.
I have a carrying capacity of 270 pounds, and with this goblin, it sounds like I'm carrying about 255.
All right.
So if there's any kind of like food or stuff that I saw, I would take that. But otherwise,
Nothing.
I'm not gonna load up on it.
There's some apple. There's some corn. There's some bits of stale bread.
I load up on some, whatever, just a couple days worth of that, and we head out.
So it's about midday at this point.
Yeah. That fight did not take very long.
Goblin, which way?
Just get to the base of the mountain. I'll tell you where to go from there.
All right.
So you guys head to the mountain.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good thing.
So it's uneventful. You get to the base of the mountain. Once you reach there, the goblin tells you how to get up. You start heading up a mountain path. It's now the sun's starting to set though.
Okay.
You've made it very little up the mountain. It looks like you're going to have a hard day's hike ahead of you the next day
Okay.
to get up this thing.
And this is the path that will take us to the mountain cave.
Yes, this is the one. We gotta go to the main entrance first, and I'm gonna take you around the back. And you're gonna let me go. I don't know. Actually, this ain't looking too good for me. I'm just realizing I'm not gonna be able to walk away. Oh God, you're gonna kill me. Oh, they're gonna kill me, aren't they?
I don't have to kill you.
Dude.
And okay, so it's nighttime now, right? So we need to.
Yeah. So it's twilight.
Yeah. So, taking some of his own food, I feed the goblin and instruct him that
He's very grateful.
but as part of that whether or not he dies is entirely up to him at this point and how much help he gives us. And then I guess we tie him up.
I mean, he's already inside of a bag. You might want to let him out of the bag at the time with something.
Yeah. So I take him out of the bag, and I let's see here.
Is there a tree?
Yeah, they say tie him to a tree.
There's not a tree, but there's a big boulder that you could, or not too big a boulder, but a rock big enough to hold a rope.
How big is the rock?
The rock to go
I don't
all
know,
the way around.
6'5", probably.
Well, I was thinking he's got broken
50
legs.
pounds.
He's got more legs.
If we set him on top, he may not make it down.
Well, if we put the rock on top of him.
Yeah. How tall is the rock? The rock's only about 3 feet tall, but it's about 8 feet around.
Oh, okay.
If you want to go around it.
But we could drive some of the pythons into the rock.
That sounds good.
And so do that.
So you use a python or two, stick it into the ground.
Yeah,
Chained
I'm
up
thinking
dog.
4. Yeah, so he's chained up, like spread
Oh.
all 4 legs, and one
I was thinking
and one around
the neck
run
with
one around his noose, so that if any of the 4 start to draw up, it tightens the noose.
All right. Well, 2 of these are useless, man. I can't even move my legs.
You won't be
I wish
moving.
I wish I couldn't feel them, but again, we're gonna have a mess in the morning. Just saying. But this is your guys' probably a good boss. Good boss.
You're in frustratingly good spirits for a goblin with broken legs and no hope of surviving.
Did he have to speak common? Fair enough. So, anything else you need to do tonight?
No, but I was just looking at resting. I mean, technically, I don't need a rest at all.
Sure. A long rest would let me get my darkness back.
Okay.
So I cast the darkness specifically because all 6 of them were about to do a attack of opportunity on you.
So I don't need to. All I'm saying is that you need at least 6 hours of sleep to get the.
So 4 hours of trance gets me 8 hours.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you usually need 4 hours.
So I guess 4 hours trance. But if you go too long, I guess DM's discretion. But you'll start to collect exhaustion.
Fatigue. Yeah.
Well,
so
so-
even if you don't take.
Well, all I'm saying, I guess if we're gonna wait until first light anyway, maybe about a 10-hour rest
Oh, I get
instead
what
of 8 hours, something like
That's
that.
fine. Once we get inside the mountain, it doesn't much matter what the time of day is. So if we're going into a mountain, we just take our 8 hours.
Right. No. So I was just thinking, like, how long would somebody rest for if it's nighttime and we're waking up probably when day breaks or something like that?
Sure.
I was trying to think of who takes watch. If I stay awake for the first 4 hours while you trance, and then I could
Then you
rest
sleep the
for
rest. 6.
6 hours.
And then that's not
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we'll do. Yeah. So I'm taking the first watch for 4 hours.
During the first watch,
Yeah.
nothing happens.
Okay.
And the second, I take my 4-hour trance.
All right.
Or-
Or second.
I already took my 4-hour trance, so yeah, there you go.
Also, nothing happens.
Okay.
That's too bad. I had a phone.
That's so bad. Okay. You have to save it for inside the mountain.
Inside. Well, yeah.
Okay.
I
So.
don't think it'll be applicable. That's all.
So daylight breaks.
Daylight breaks. The goblin has rested fitfully.
We're so thankful for that. His legs have healed miraculously because he got 8 hours of rest.
He's all good.
His spells all
recovered.
Yeah, good.
Nah, his legs are still crunchy noodles. Just useless. So just gonna get them just flopping around.
Actually, that's what I do in the knapsack. I cut little
cut
holes so his legs are just
From his
broken legs.
his still functioning arms are still tied up inside
Yeah.
him.
His broken legs are bouncing.
This is really mean. I feel like a tadpole. This is pretty cruel. No, they don't work, but I still feel it.
So
I still feel
his mouth is now full of my dagger, and it's not anymore. I wipe it on his own face.
Okay. No, we keep going that way.
Okay, so head that way.
All right.
Yeah, that way.
You head up the mountain.
Just to be clear, is this one of your 3-night one-shots? Or
No. This is a one shot.
because it's 11:30, so just
I promise.
Okay.
I promise. You guys head up to.
We haven't gotten any cahoodles yet.
You hike. It's a rough hike. There does not appear to be any life as far as animal life is concerned on this mountain. So you know, aside from a few birds here and there, it's rather uneventful. I'm going to do a couple of rolls for any bad things happening. No rock slides or anything along those lines. It's now getting to be evening time again, and you reach a cave, And he says, yeah, this is the one. This is the main entrance. He's whispering. He's like, yeah, all right. Now what we got to do is we got to climb about 10 feet above this cave. You got to scale the wall. You could drop me off here. You know, I'll figure it out. But you get on top of here and there's a ledge, and you just follow that ledge all the way around to the other side of the mountain. Take you about 2 hours to get around the back. And you just go into the hole in the wall there, and you're in. It's the back door. Dragon won't fit through there. You know, if he sees you, you just back up real quick. It's not the cave entrance in front of you is big enough for a dragon to get through.
Shall we take the secret path?
I think so. Should we kill the goblin?
If you want. I just set him down.
I kind of still.
Okay.
I didn't kill him.
It is, you know,
The goblin dies.
I see he's incapacitated.
He sheds one tear.
He's like,
I catch it in a vial. That was a single goblin tear was the last thing the witch needed.
Single tear. From a hopeful goblin. No, he's like, I knew it, and his word is cut off. As his head is cut off.
Okay.
All right. Pythons.
All right.
Let's get an agility check for climbing up the face of the mountain. We'll give you with advantage since you have the gear.
So acrobatics?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Acrobatics. Not
Acrobatics.
I do.
Gee.
In fact, okay, hold on. Not only did I get plus 17, but in addition to that, I can use an elegant maneuver, a bonus action. I can gain advantage on any dex acrobatic check or strength athletics skill during the same round.
I guess we should really just do an acrobatics check more than acrobatics.
Whenever I make an intelligence history check related to the research of stonework.
So I'm going to use...
Looking about, you realize that stone is nasty.
So I'm going to use elegant maneuver to gain advantage, and then I'll still have plus 17.
Okay.
So that's a 15.
I already gave you advantage.
That's a 3. So
Okay. Natural 20.
Double
my
advantage.
acrobatics.
As you trying to do a fancy move, the dwarf just
So the 5-year-old dwarf, easily, 240-pound dwarf, easily scales.
scaling inside the mountain
I'm better at climbing in holes.
like a mountain hawk.
Alright.
You must be better at climbing down. Anyways,
This is true.
yeah, you just as the goblin said, there is a ledge, just about 1.5, 2 feet wide at times. Sometimes only 1 foot wide. That does seem stable and can carry you around the back. It takes you about 2 hours. It's now about 10 o'clock at night, and you do reach, after trying several depressions in the mountain, you do find a passage that has some air blowing through it, some warm, dry air. And you realize this must be the back entrance that you talked about.
All right. Well,
Is it stone? Do you want to investigate it?
can I tell this natural formation, or like was it just was it something that somebody?
No, this is a natural formation.
No, hang on, I want to roll for this.
Oh, okay. It's not somewhere.
It is literally a mountain.
Wait, and you rolled a 5.
Yeah, but plus 12, so 17.
It is literally a mountain. How is it not stonework?
God's stonework.
Hey,
God, one of them. Yes, it appears to be a natural fissure in the rock.
Mm-hmm.
So my drow worships Abramovich. His god is Zablon Abramovich.
Okay.
You said I got, I don't know.
That's it.
That's
the end of that story.
It's not his handiwork.
You can't tell who made this mountain, but it wasn't him.
It wasn't.
You don't recognize his signature.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You guys go through?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. It is night. We're going to see.
It's nighttime?
I do sneaky.
It is nighttime. Go ahead and do a stealth check.
I succeed. That is a 4 plus 17 is a 21.
And that is an 18.
Down. And okay, 18. You slide through. It takes you about 20 minutes to get through this crag. Any excess that you are carrying, you're going to have to discard before entering. Just the entry is only about 3 feet wide. So if you're carrying anything too bulky, I should say, not any excess.
Like a tent.
But if you've got,
I won't do a tent in here. I just drop it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything
yeah,
else.
that's fine.
I already dropped the goblin, so.
You enter.
My killing the goblin was so exciting.
You enter Archonodrous' lair from the back. Let's go ahead and get a perception check from both of you guys.
I'd rather just use my passive perception of 18 rather than actively try to perceive anything.
Your passive perception is 18.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
You
I'm just
could go
kidding.
with that.
My passive perception is 20.
Okay, so that was a 19 plus 8, so 27.
27. Okay.
Perception is plus 13.
I see the sword, I grab the sword, I kill the dragon.
18 plus 13 is a 31.
You've done the impossible.
Being a level 20 rogue is awesome.
Your mind is open to the secret secret. So you see in front of you a massive hoard of treasure: copper, gold, silver, platinum, all in front of you, just in a giant pile. Where it opens is into a massive cavern with a ledge that has a ledge in front of you where most of this treasure is piled. A much larger cave floor lies at a lower level, about 20 feet down, and that's where the red dragon is, awake and drinking from a pool of water in the middle that is being filled from a small, steady stream.
I take a handful of platinum from the top, put it in my pouch, walk out, head down the mountain. I pee in the stream.
The ledge you are on is about 100 by 100, and the area in front of that is about 4 or 5 times that width. And you can see vaguely, only by lichen light and luminescent mushroom, the area around you. The pool itself seems to have something in it glowing, and you can see through the massive cave entrance where you had been just 2.5 hours prior, the faint twinkling of stars and sound of wind coming through.
Okay.
And again, that is now at this point about 450 feet from you.
Does that appear to be the only room, basically, this large cavern?
Yeah, it's just a large cavern, and the dragon is drinking from the water. So let me better describe what you see in front of you. As I said, there's copper, silver, platinum, gold. There are chests. Some you can see fine clothes coming out of. Others are just filled with more gold. Some there are jewels everywhere, all around. The largest of which is a stunning emerald, the size of a ostrich egg, with more sides to it than you can count. There is also
one. I don't know what an ostrich is.
some sort of large egg. You assume maybe the size of a dragon's egg. Okay, an emerald almost the size of your head. We'll go with that. With many sides to it. There's also a large a statue of a lion that looks to either be gold coated or maybe solid gold itself for this statue. Laying, though, nowhere in sight is any sword. Okay, so it's not on this ledge, but you can see, or you can tell that there is more gold on the lower level as well.
And we can see that glowing, you said, from the pool with the...
Yes, it's glowing there, so you see the dragon in silhouette. The rest around you is kind of, like I said, just glowing lichens and mushrooms.
Can we tell, like, how deep down the glowing is? Like, does it appear to be a shallow pool, or is it?
No, it is a
Pretty
deep,
animal.
deep well.
That is the smoothest back.
I mean, you won't expect it. But we were told at least that we need this sword to kill the dragon.
That was what you were told.
That's what we were told.
That's what the drunk sailor said.
And if you can't trust a drug sailor,
Then who can you trust?
Lots of other people that can think
babysitters.
I say, I suspect that glowing light is the sword we heard of. We have to find a way to get it
In the pool.
in the pool. Perhaps we wait till the dragon falls asleep, try to sneak down and get it, so that we have it, we can counter it, and kill the dragon.
We can also make a light that's humanoid walking into the main entrance and see if we can distract them. I don't know how often dragons sleep.
If he's distracted, he knows somebody's here. If we wait till he falls asleep.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So the ledge that we're on, would we be like able to be like kind of far back so that he wouldn't be able to see us? From
Yeah, you can retreat back into, like I said, the path you were going down. While it was a tight squeeze, it take you about 20 minutes
No,
to get through. So I mean, you're well into the mountain now, but you can retreat back 20 or even 40 feet.
How about we make a camp for the night? I'll take first watch until he falls asleep, and then you can.
I'll play a game whistle.
We'll do not do that. And then we'll wait through the night to see if he falls asleep or what he does. If nothing happens in the morning, then we can
Go with plan B.
proceed from there.
All right. You guys make camp.
I mean, yeah, inside the mountain,
Yeah.
like up on the ledge, but back so he can't.
Yeah, no, that's
Hopefully
good.
not see us.
You hear nothing of the dragon. You say check every few minutes.
Yeah, look to see
Or,
what
yeah,
he's
10,
doing.
15 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
You check. About the fourth or fifth time you go to check, so now about midnight, you go and you don't see the dragon at all.
Okay.
It appears that he has left maybe to feed or do something else.
Okay. I didn't hear him do anything. I didn't hear him leave.
You'd heard him walking around before. He was just in different parts of the cave, inspecting different parts of his treasure, admiring it.
Okay.
So you couldn't tell that he left at any particular time.
So
You just know that
But you need me to go check and see if.
Well, I was gonna say, can I? Yeah, I'll wake him. It's about midnight. It's about time for him to go anyway. But I say we need to look around carefully to see if he's in fact gone.
All right.
So I do that.
All right.
So,
You stealth around the cavern.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking. I'm actively trying to like watch out whether it's out the door.
Yeah.
or
No. You
there.
see the dragon nowhere inside the cavern.
That's fine. Yeah, I climb down. I go as stealthily as possible to investigate. I'm specifically looking for a sword.
While he does that, can I get to the main entrance from the ledge?
There is no easy way off of this ledge. To get down the ledge, it's about a 20-foot drop. So you'll need a rope or something to get down.
I say we.
I have a rope.
I say we affix it to something so that we can make a hasty climb back up.
I agree. But my figure is driving the pythons. Dink, dink.
There is that statue.
Is the statue
Not,
up
not,
where we
not
are?
tell too much, but yeah, the statue's up where you are.
Oh, there's a statue up
You
right
could
there.
just affix it to the
Okay.
statue. It's just kind of nestled in some gold.
Okay,
That sounds good. It's heavy. I mean, it's
It's heavy.
it's like a lion size. We're not talking about a lion. We're talking about a lion size
It's
statue.
life size.
It's a life size. Okay, so yeah, I've got 50 feet of rope, and you said it's a 20-foot drop.
Yes.
how close is it to the ledge?
I didn't have an answer to that, so we'll just say it's close enough that you could
Okay.
go all the way down.
So
Okay.
that's what I do.
I am going to.
And you said I would say like I'm good enough for tying knots to.
Yeah, you're good enough for time.
I'm going to go to the entrance of the cave and look out for him in case he comes back. So,
Why don't you stay? I'm guessing that stealth didn't. I mean, if this dragon's gone, then who cares? If the
If he
dragon's
comes
not
back.
gone,
I didn't hear him leave. I may not hear him come back.
that's kind of my point.
But if I'm at the entrance of the cave, then you may see him.
Do what you wish.
How far is it from the ledge where we drop down to the edge of the cave?
Up to the
To
main
the
entrance.
Yeah.
That's about 300 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long way. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big. It's just like hollowed out.
Can we draw?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
We can do that. Let's
Yeah.
erase.
Erases.
More magnets. Sorry, not trying to be difficult. There we go. So you guys have your little secret path over here. You've got your ledge right here. That's where your drop is. And you're gonna have a much. This is the larger one. And this will be your main cave entrance down here.
That's the pool.
And then,
But there's
I'm gonna go with the smaller pool.
But then you won't be able to have us there. Then we would move our.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. Here, I'll just draw the pool's blue. Alright, that's the pool. And there is gold piled just
And then there hills.
all around here.
That's where we are. Right?
Spilling off the edge.
But really, why can't we just take it and leave?
There's gold.
No, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Just little by little.
And people said they hadn't seen the dragon in 30 years. So you guys, where are you going to be?
Despite you not describing there being a chandelier, I swing from the chandelier down.
He cuts the rope that holds the chandelier and
swing down.
Yeah.
No, I climb down the rope. I'm doing this with great stealth.
So your rope just hanging down off of here.
Yeah, that looks rope-like.
Yeah.
And so I climb down, and I use as much stealth as I've ever used in my life to go searching for a sword.
Okay.
Oh, so he's gonna go to the pool.
So you're going to the pool. All right. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm just waiting at the edge, looking around the cave, and actively looking around the cave, and towards the entrance, trying to see if there's anything that I see, any notice of the dragon.
All right. So you came down the ledge?
No. I'm on the.
You're still up there.
Yeah,
Okay.
still up there.
Yeah.
Can we see the ceiling of this of the cavern? Like, it's not like he would have gone way up high and we're not noticing him, right? Like,
No. It's way up there, but you can tell he's not. You would hear him beating his wings at that point, or perched. I guess it could be perched somewhere, but you would see it. If
Okay.
It was.
Okay.
It's luminescence.
Okay.
Growth cave. It's a dim light,
Okay.
but you do have to.
How far is the pool from the edge of the?
This is about 100 feet here, and then about 200 feet that way. And like I said, this is about another 100 feet. So the pool's about right in the middle.
Okay.
But then you only got about 200 feet across.
Mhm.
Okay.
So have I found anything? Do
No.
I need to roll for anything?
Well, you could go ahead and investigate, but I already gave you the answer.
So no, I did not find
No,
anything.
the sword is not in the pool.
Okay, so I go look for it in the pile of gold.
All right. You can go ahead and roll an investigation check this time.
Investigation, not perception.
Well, because you're specifically
Well,
looking for the sword.
Could you tell what it was that was causing the?
That was causing the light. It looks like a very deep well, and there's some bioluminescent fish in there, probably some rocks down at the bottom.
So investigation is not my forte, and I rolled an 8.
Roll an 8. You don't find a sword up there.
Yes, but I forgot to tell you that I've got a +0 to that 8.
So close. But no. No on that.
Alright.
Do you have anything?
I mean, do I, having him looked in there and not seeing anything in there, he's looking in the gold pile down below him, not finding it. I say, look out for me. Watch the desert come back. I'll search around up here. And so I'll make an investigation check.
Okay, you make an investigation check.
And it'll be a 11 plus 2, 13.
13.
Yeah.
Alright, you don't find the sword either,
Uh-huh.
but as you're searching, you hear a thump and a laugh at the cave entrance,
Okay.
and the red dragon stands against against the cave entrance, and says, I knew you goblins would be back. You smell different than those other goblins, though. Is that a dwarf I smell? Probably looking for that sword. And then you hear a clang and see some stone, or see a glint off of some metal down here as he himself threw the sword onto the ground near the entrance of the cave. He laughs and says, I haven't gotten to eat something that could talk in quite a while.
How far is he from me?
From you, about 250 feet.
250 feet.
Yeah.
And then what's the width of the cave?
It's about 200 feet wide and about 400 feet long. With this going through dead middle. Again,
Okay.
sorry, I fell dark. So you guys want to roll initiative now?
Yeah. That's what I was hoping to do.
Alright.
Actually, I was going to say before we entered into combat, well, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what I am. So I guess never mind. I won't do anything.
Okay.
All right. So
Do you want to see if the pool is man-made?
I rolled a 3. It's water, not stone. It's probably man-made water.
So 25 for my initiative.
Alright.
And a 3.
A gentleman's 3.
Alright. So the order will be Joel, Dragon, Weston.
I can remember that. I think we can finish this tonight, unless this is just part 1 of
No, this is it.
3.
And then the dragon's twin brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, nothing like that.
I am going to.
This is just you guys get to beat up a dragon. And hopefully you win.
Hopefully.
Okay. I'm going to use panache. Okay, and so as an action, I will contest my persuasion against his wisdom.
Okay.
My persuasion being a persuasion.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Charisma persuasion.
He doesn't do a save though, right?
No, it's a
No.
contest.
Alright. Didn't think so. So yeah, that's just +2 for him.
Oh, my persuasion is +16.
So what is?
So 8 plus 16 is a, what, 24?
Yeah.
So I rolled a 24.
His wisdom roll is 21. But
Okay.
what are you trying to do?
So now
I'm smarter than you.
I'm assuming that he is a hostile target. So
Yes, he
if I succeed and the target is hostile, he has disadvantage on attacks on any creature other than me. And he can't make any opportunity attacks against others other than me
Okay.
Wow.
for a minute.
Nice.
And there's no concentration. And so the rest of the
What's that
battle
called?
panache. It's essentially like,
It's that same thing you used on the barn.
it's the same thing, but this is what it does against people who are hostile to me. So he is permanent disadvantage against Wesson, and he can't do any attacks of opportunity against Wesson. I then move 60 feet because I'm going to use my dash movement towards the sword.
Okay. Use 60 feet of dash movement?
Yes, I've got my rapier and my dagger drawn.
Okay. He makes that move. The dragon rears up.
Do you want to use the third magnet as your dragon?
Oh, yeah, we can do that. The dragon.
All right.
So you went 60 feet. He is going to come to meet you 40 feet. Actually, you probably want like that. So let's
Get a grid on here.
I know, right? That would be useful. Let's see. If we're doing. There. This is 100 feet. So I'm just going to mark off every 100 feet.
How large is the entrance, the main entrance?
This is about 40 feet across.
How tall is it?
At least 30 feet.
30 feet tall?
Yeah.
So if he left it, he would probably walk out of it. He wouldn't like fly out of it.
Yeah, he would walk out.
Okay.
And then need to launch from the ledge in front.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
way dragon's wings work, they actually can't lift. Like pterodactyls that jump. Anyways,
So they had to climb up the mountain and then fly down.
I'm just talking about real dragons here, guys, okay? Sorry.
Chickens.
That's the T-Rex. T-Rex, giant chicken. Alright, so he comes, he's just taking his normal pacing towards you. He moves 40 feet and then lets out a fire breath, which is going to be a dex save for you.
Dex save?
It reaches 90 feet and you're within range.
I am within range. So just what kind of dex? Acrobatics?
Dex save.
A dex save, okay,
Yes.
plus 11. 18 plus 11.
18 plus 11. Alright, so that is a successful save, so you will only take.
Nothing. No, I seriously take nothing.
You take nothing?
Unsuccessful saves.
So, on dex saves, that is called evasion. When I was 7th level, I took evasion. So when subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dex save for half damage, if you succeed, you take none, and if you fail, you take half. It's called evasion.
Okay. Nice. That is nice.
I'm just gonna wait up here on the leg.
You drop to the ground.
If all he does is keep shooting his fire breath at you, and you just keep evading it.
Man, okay. So that's round one. All right. Though you're going to need to also, as his second action, you're going to need to make a wisdom save so as not to be frightened.
Well,
Unless, like, half of you can't be frightened.
so my Fey ancestry is I have advantage on saves versus charm and immune to sleep magic. Is this a charm?
No.
Can we make it a charm?
No.
Okay.
Nothing has been challenging for you guys.
I mean, there's only two of us, and it's a red dragon, so you think it might be kind of fun.
So what am I saving against? My wisdom.
Wisdom save.
So plus 7. Wait, is that 4?
No,
that's a 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 4 plus 7 is 11.
So you are frightened.
I don't really think that I am. I don't feel like my character
I
is
don't really
frightened.
sense the fear.
Yeah.
I am also.
Are you sure he wasn't trying to charm me?
I'm 100% positive that he was not. Let's see. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Doesn't have to move as far away as possible.
It does not have to move away. It just can't move any closer.
Okay.
Yeah. I know, like with Turn Undead and things like that, they have to move away. But
Hold on now.
Not
So
with-
instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use miss an attack roll. Okay, so my stroke of luck. My stroke of luck. Once per long rest. If I fail an ability check, I can treat the roll as a 20. So I'm not frightened. That was my stroke of luck.
Okay.
Your one time that you
My one time per long rest. That's the capstone.
Okay.
That's my level 20 ability.
That works. That works.
It's interesting. As a fighter, I just get another attack.
That's your capstone.
Yeah. I know some of them have some really cool ones. Like I think paladins get like wings. And
Storm, Tempest, clerics fly.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. So you can get some pretty cool stuff. But
the original Ranger, the original Player's Handbook Ranger, their capstone was so bad that the revised Ranger gets it at first level.
yeah.
Nice.
Like it was such a bad capstone that they give it to him at first level.
Yeah. Huh. Well, so like here's a cool one. So like for the monk, at 20th level, when you roll for initiative and have no key points remain, you regain 4 key points. So like that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess getting another attack it's all right, but like.
Well, the advantage of that is that it's constant. Like I just burn through it. You can just keep attacking.
Yeah.
Every round.
Yeah.
And so that's the advantage of yours because now I'm out of my luck.
Yeah.
Like that was it.
Oh, hey, why don't you take a break? And
I would like for you to do something at some point.
well, if I ever had a chance.
I'm literally single-handedly taking out a red dragon.
We're having this argument. and the dragon is just like, you're not taking out anyone. Okay.
Yep.
So
you're that it's now your turn. He has let out his. He has moved. He has let out his fire. He is now standing between you and the sword.
whose turn is it?
Yours.
My turn.
Ulrich's turn.
My turn. Okay. I was trying to look for the. Yeah, Avenging Angel. At 20th level, you can assume the form of an angelic avenger. Use your action to undergo a transformation for 1 hour. You gain these benefits. You only did once during each long rest. That's just pretty cool. Fiverr's just like, I can't. Okay.
But within 20 seconds, or within what is 10 seconds per turn? 6 seconds. And you're gonna do 5 different swings of your sword. That's
Just
pretty
4.
good.
I only get 4 attacks.
No, I thought it was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're Zorroing up people.
It's 1.5 seconds per stroke,
Yeah.
Pretty
including deciding what to do.
exactly.
So how far
He
is
has a
this?
sword. He has a hammer. He has a giant hammer.
That's right.
Actually, I instead of pulling out the hammer, I would pull out my great axe.
Oh, okay. I guess that was.
How far is he from me at this point? About 200.
The dragon
or so.
is 200 feet from you.
Okay, yeah.
It's gonna be like right here. Can you give me You give me northings. I need east things.
Can we do a hex grid rather than squares though?
Well, it's 200 left to right with this one right in the middle. So you've got that. Is that good enough?
I mean, this time.
This time, okay.
Wait, which way is north?
I need a north arrow.
Is that magnetic north?
Oh, come on. You can do better north arrows than that.
Wait, north is down?
No.
I'm doing it a little.
Wait, now which way is it then?
That's not helpful.
Wait, let him. We just forgot. We're so flustered. We just forgot on our right.
There we go.
Is
this good for you?
What's to the right?
This is the difference between GIS and survey. That's what we're learning right now. It's close enough. It's in the guys. It's there. You're good.
Look,
You have a perception of what's happening.
I have literally seen maps where people just took a picture of the compass and put it on there with it facing towards the top of the map. And that not being
Yeah.
north.
So what is down then?
That's This one is down.
Left and right. North, down, left, right.
South.
Yes. Okay.
So, just for the record.
So why is there beholder in the?
Why does he have arms?
The roommates.
That's
Well, just
that's
watch
the twist. The twist.
Yeah.
After the dragon, we fight the beholder.
Yeah, but the beholder is like uptight and really hard to get along with. And the dragon's like really free spirited.
The faintly odd couple.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, you said it's 20 feet down.
Yes, 20-foot drop.
Okay, 20-foot drop.
You have a rope to go down.
Okay, so.
But that's the dragon, and this is you.
No, this is
The dragon climbs down the rope. The dragon's on the ledge. He's just like watching us.
The dragon needs a ledge to fly. That's pterodactyl style.
That's how they do it.
No, so actually, just, I'm just trying to think of what I should do. So I'm going to pull out my light crossbow.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot him.
Alright.
Now I'm at disadvantage because the range is 80, 320. So I'm at disadvantage here.
Okay.
And that would be 9 for the first one.
Nope.
Alright, notch another light bow, crossbow bolt. So 14.
Nope.
15.
No.
And 12.
No.
Alright.
Just every arrow strikes, but glances off of his armor-like scales.
I yell out, he's invincible! There's nothing we can do!
That's it. Might as well just. You're fucking mixing every crossbow. You just fill like your pouch. Yeah, sorry. I don't think we can do anything.
There's no chance. Save yourself. No, and so I'm gonna stay on the ledge where I am for right now.
Okay. Okay. This, okay. No. Here it is. Right, are you pocketing stuff?
No,
No, okay, okay.
Is it a sword?
that's my free action. I just
That's my reaction. I picked my sword down. Okay. Then we are at the top of the order.
Okay.
Alright. Go.
Is
Ellis. You are not frightened.
okay.
He is 60 feet from you, ish.
Right. So I'm going to take the. So helpful. He is 60 feet from me.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to run 60 feet. I'm going to take the disengage
Action? As your bonus action?
as my bonus action so that he doesn't get an attack of opportunity. It doesn't
Okay.
matter, he's going to attack me anyway.
well, you don't have to disengage if you're not leaving his area. You'd only.
Well, that's true.
You only
Yeah,
But I have to use the dash. No, I can use the dash action. You're right. So if I'm not leaving his area,
Yeah, you don't have.
I can take the dash action as my bonus action, and I can still attack him.
You're able to take the dash as a bonus
I
action.
can as a rogue.
Wow.
So I'm going to take the dash as a bonus action.
Well, he'll get an attack of opportunity.
No, not if he doesn't leave.
No, not if I don't leave.
It's only
Plus,
if you leave.
I've got rakish audacity, and so if I do a melee attack against a creature, they
Okay.
can't do attacks of opportunity. So if I can, so that's right. So I can attack
You
him.
dash to him.
So I dash to him, and I take a swing with my rapier. I take a poke.
Okay.
9 plus 11 is a 20.
No.
But I said plus 11 is a 20.
I know.
It doesn't matter. It still prevents him from getting an attack of opportunity,
Okay.
and that is my turn.
Alright. It's not his turn. So, Archonodrous picks up his claw and swipes at you. 24 damage.
I dex save. As my armor class is 18, that is greater than. Or.
How's your armor class higher than mine?
Well, it's 17.
It's probably based off his dex.
It's based on my dex, my leather armor, and I've got dual wielder feet, and so I've got 2 weapons out right now, so it's plus 5.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's 18.
Alright, so that'll be 16 damage as his massive hand knocks you, or just slashes across you.
Okay.
Doesn't knock you down, just slashing damage. He does not breathe any fire at you, but does whip his tail around.
Does he nay-nay? If he's whipping, he better nay-nay.
He is an ancient dragon and has no time for that kind of shenanigans. Whipping his tail around, though, he knocks the sword all the way up against this wall.
Okay. How far from it am I?
We'll set you right at 60 feet from it.
Alright then, just up against that wall.
It's probably more like 80, really, but I already said 60. So we'll go with that.
Okay.
All right. But he gets one more with and you have to do another wisdom save to see if you're frightened.
Alright, well, wisdom is going to be plus 7. That's a 10.
10. All right, you are frightened. Do you want me to go over that again?
No, I'm afraid.
Okay.
And I'm out of baggage of tricks for that one.
Yeah. All right. You're frightened. So it's now your turn.
Okay. So if I want to jump down to the thing instead of taking the rope, well, actually, no. I'm just gonna climb down the rope.
I mean, you got time. He's busy over here.
Be half your movement, but that's
Yeah. Well, my movement is 25. It's a 20-foot drop. Well, I mean, if I go down 12 and a half feet and then let go, I can get to the ground basically with my movement.
Yeah.
All right. So I climb down to the ledge, at the bottom of the ledge, and I'm gonna shoot him again with my light crossbow.
Okay.
I say 17
No.
to hit. Dang, what is this thing? Nope. Wait, I can re-roll that. If I get a.
So I don't know how you want to do it, but crossbows have a loading feat. Regardless of the number of attacks you have, you can only shoot one crossbow bolt.
Oh, because the amount of time.
Because
Okay.
you have to load it.
Okay. All right.
So I don't want to say that, but that's what like the difference between the longbow, short bow, and crossbow is.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Then never mind.
Never stop Daryl Dixon.
The way that I understand the rules
Is that it would take?
is that
You
they
don't
have
have
the
the
loading.
time to do one per.
Right. So regardless, that's what the loading.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Proper.
Loading weapon. Property.
Because of the time required to load this weapon, you can only fire one piece of ammunition from it when you use an action, bonus action, or reaction to fire it, regardless of the number of attacks you can normally make.
Okay.
You have a passive perception of 18.
Yes.
You said.
Yes.
All right. When you get to the base after loosing your first crossbow or bolt and it not striking anything, you notice to your left, what's it called? A chest of drawers. I just want you to know that you noticed that.
To my left.
Yes.
Like where would it?
So just right by you.
Okay.
Just a chest of drawers that has some of the drawers open, some of the drawers closed. You can tell that there's at least something glowing inside of one of the drawers that is partially open.
Okay. Well, I've already used my action. I kind of use the bonus action to
You can use your bonus action to investigate.
Okay, yeah, if I can do that.
Okay.
See what it is.
So the one that's glowing, you reach in, you pull out a vial. It is a swirling blue substance that glows. So it glows in the dark. This liquid heals anyone drinking of all diseases, poisons, and wounds, and has 3 charges in it before it's exhausted. So it's enough to take three gulps out of.
Wait, what is it?
It's basically a heal all. It's a healing potion. Heals all diseases, poisons, and wounds.
Oh, okay.
So
if I was at 1, it would.
if you're at 1, it heal you all the way up.
Nice.
It just takes you to
What's it
4.
called? Or does it have a name?
It doesn't have a name in here. It just says
Swirly blue.
swirling blue substance that glows in the dark.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll write that down.
Yeah. There's other stuff in there, but that's the end of your action. For
I take 1 drink just to see what it tastes like. Okay.
It appears to be we'll do this. It appears to be an apothecary table, so it's labeled as a total healing potion.
Okay.
It's kind of nice during your 6-second bonus action. You will fire a crossbow, see a chest of drawers, open the chest of drawers, read the label of it.
Yes. There are other drawers in there.
If condition continues for up to 4 hours.
Okay. Alright, okay. That was the end of my turn.
Okay. Joel, Ellis, you're up.
Well, what was my options? Frightened? Can I not attack him?
You can't move toward him. I don't think that you can attack him.
I don't think I can. In which case,
you have a disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of fear is within your sight, and the creature cannot willingly move closer to the source of fear. So you can't attack it. You'll just have disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with disadvantage, I'm going to make a melee attack against the creature. And it doesn't matter if I don't hit. 14 plus 11. So 25.
25 actually hits.
25 hits. So I'm going to do 1d8. 4 plus 5 is going to be a 9, plus 3d6. 3, 2, 6. That's my sneak attack, because as a rogue, if there's no other creatures within 5 feet of us, I constantly have sneak attack.
Alright, so that's 20 damage?
That's 20 total damage.
Yeah.
Then I will use...
I believe you. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. That enemy is incapacitated and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. You had disadvantage on the attack roll. And
for that one. Oh, I forgot to add disadvantage.
And
because I read 14, but I didn't get 14 plus my lowest, so I only rolled 7, so I don't hit, so he gets no damage.
Oh, okay.
Regardless, hurting him wasn't my intent. It was just to create. Yeah, he has no.
I wanted
so
to tickle him.
If I take a swing, he can't hit me. So 60 feet towards
The sword.
this.
Alright. Alright. The sword in front of you is beautiful. It's inside a scabbard. I assume you pick it up.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You pick it up. The scabbard is platinum-plated leather with engraved swirls flowing up from the tip toward the middle where they form the head of a snake. For the record, the scabbard alone is worth 3,000 gold pieces.
If you can get out of the cable.
The ruby eyes of the snake's head seems to look back and move as the light hits it at different angles. The artwork crawls up towards the top as the snake becomes many once again. The long sword in its sheath is worthy of its scabbard. Its crosspiece is worked steel, and each end curves up to form an open-mouthed snake. The hilt, in keeping with the craftsman theme, is a snake whose mouth clasps the spotless blade. The scaled hand grip is made of wrapped cords and some exotic hide. Balancing the blade is a pommel with a circular cut emerald.
The emerald alone is worth 5,000 gold pieces. So it's here. This sword is or maybe it's the whole sword that's worth 5,000. Anyways, the sword is the magical sword of the worm, once carried by a Magnir the Slayer. When wielded in combat, it is a +1 longsword, +3 versus reptiles, and confers immunity from all forms of poison upon its bearer. In addition, it deals double damage to all dragons.
Immunity includes frightened.
No, immunity to poison.
All right. Then I believe that's the end of my turn.
Yes. But you now have the sword.
But yeah, in free action, I tell the dwarf to meet me, and I'm going to give him the sword.
Come and get this!
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
It is now
The dragon's turn.
the dragon's turn. The dragon doesn't have as much distance as you, so he can only move 40 feet towards you, so he's still 20 feet away. But while being 20 feet away... Oh, you can do a wisdom save each turn, sorry, to see if you're any frightened. I did not tell you that.
That is a 9 plus
7?
7.
That is not enough.
16.
For the record, try to beat 22.
Dang,
Okay. Let's see. What does he have that can reach 20 feet?
So he moved 40. Did he dash?
No, that's his speed.
That's his
40.
speed.
His speed is 40. When it's flying, it's 80, but he's not flying yet. His tail is 20 feet long, though, and he can reach you with that. So he takes a swipe at you with his tail. That is going to be a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to be greater than 18.
Alright, that's a 20 to hit and deals 18 damage. 18 bludgeoning damage. For the record. But that's the only
149.
The only thing that he has in use at the time.
I think he had more hit points than me too, or like one more. I had 182.
So evidently, this person who put this together took the tough feat at level 12, so you get +2 hit points per level.
Nice.
This still wouldn't make sense because you would be getting 10. I would only start getting 10 at level 12. How did I end up? Okay. If this character was broken, I literally downloaded a level 20 swashbuckler.
I just kept rolling till I got numbers I liked.
I didn't roll a single thing. I downloaded it from the internet. It is true.
I just downloaded it. I found something I liked.
So yeah.
Alright. You are now up, Aldrich.
Alright. Okay. There's more stuff in those drawers. Okay, so I am going to, let's see here. How far away? That was like about 140 feet from me or something like that.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do except run towards them and I dash 50 feet because my speed is 25 feet. So yeah, 50 feet. And I'm going to shoot. I guess dashing was my action. I'm going to pull out my great axe.
Alright.
And hold it. That's my turn.
Amazingly.
Ah!
Alright.
So it's my turn.
It is now your turn.
I'm going to use 60 feet of movement to run towards Aldrich. Do I reach Aldrich?
So you have 50, you have 60. That's 110. At 100, you're still 30 feet away from each other.
Okay. So I did that. And
The sword is with you.
I'm going to use my, so that was my bonus action. My action, I'm going to use the poison on the rapier. So I get a vial of poison. My rapier is not poisoned.
Okay.
Rapier cost.
The rapier takes 10. No.
And that would be my action.
Okay.
That would be my turn.
That'll be your turn. Okay. The dragon will dash towards you guys 80 feet. We'll say he closes the gap, charging at you.
So he just dashes.
Yeah, he just dashes.
Okay.
Because he was 20 feet from you, you dashed 60, he dashes 80.
Okay.
That is his move.
That's his move.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I run to.
He lets out a shriek and says, how'd you do that?
Okay.
No one's messing me yet.
I use my movement to run to my draw companion
Okay.
and take the sword.
He's trying to go.
No, you can't catch me. Ah. Okay. So I get the sword.
None of you can.
And what are the stats on the sword?
Alright, so the sword is a long sword.
Okay.
Alright. +1 normally. +3 against anything reptilian. That includes dragons.
Okay.
So +3 to hit. The damage is doubled against dragons.
So it's a long sword, +1, +3 reptiles,
Yes.
doubled for dragons.
And you are immune to poison.
So
Well,
that-
Is a
When you
dragon
say-
considered a reptile?
yes.
When you say double, you mean
+6.
do you mean +6, or do you mean I take the damage +1, +3, and then I double all of it?
Treat it like a critical hit.
Okay. So, all right.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Because that's the intention here.
Okay.
Is that it's basically an automatic crit if you hit it at all.
What is it called? What's the thing called?
This is the Sword of the Worm, WYRM, as carried by Magnir the Slayer.
Okay. No, just kidding.
I don't need your backstory. I just need the mechanics.
Yeah. Shoot, what is a long sword? Is it D8 or D10?
Longsword is 1d8.
1D8.
It is versatile, and so it can be 1d10
If you use two hands.
if you use 2 hands.
Oh, nice. Good to know. That's what I'm doing. 1D8.
I am actually proficient in longswords as an elf. Yeah. That's one of the elven weapons.
Just so you know.
But I'm
So
also
you're giving it to the dwarf.
-1 on strength. It's just not very good for me to not use finesse weapons.
I'm really good at it, but from a technical perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's do this thing. Okay. I take it, and I'm assuming I'm close enough within reach of the dragon
Yes, the dragon.
that I can swipe at him.
Yes.
All right. So I take that sword. Roll attack. My first attack is a 15, which you said does not hit.
No, it does not hit.
Gosh, is a 12, then a 14. I'm just doing terrible. Oh my gosh.
That's
12.
with your +3.
I have a +4, but all of my rolls are terrible. Like my highest roll was a 10, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so everything was just awful.
Okay.
Okay, so that was.
But that's your +4 for your thing, but then you're also your strength.
No, +4 is my attack bonus based on my strength.
But
But
you
it's a
got
+4
+4
hit.
sword. So it's +4
Wait, I thought it was
+4.
Oh, it's a +4 to hit? I thought you had it as +4 damage.
It's both. That's
It's
how
both.
That's how the addition
So
works.
+1 lets you do both.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
it's +8.
oh, okay. Well then, what was the what's his AC?
22.
Okay, I would not have hit either way, but I was not adding the 4 on there. I was thinking it was just 4 damage. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. All right, well that's still my turn. All right, so
So
I
it's
have
either that.
and do nothing.
It is now your turn. You could do your wisdom save at the top to see if you're still rising.
I should just put a 15-foot cone of darkness on them and run away. I don't. I guess the best thing for me to do is just hang out and fight. So I'm going to take a swing with my rapier. A 14 plus 11 is but I'm at disadvantage because I'm frightened. So 13 plus 11 is a 22.
That hits.
So this is a 1d8. That is not an 8. This is an 8. 3 plus
That's
5 is an 8. Plus 5 plus 6 plus 4. So that's 15 plus 8 is a 23 damage. And then I take my bonus action to attack with my dagger.
Okay.
And so I don't get... So I don't add my ability to damage, correct? But I do on my...
Yeah, you don't get the buffs on the second one.
So I don't get any buffs whatsoever, right? So 11.
11 is okay.
But I don't get my attack bonus at all, right?
Correct.
Okay. So 11. So it would have been impossible for me to get a 22 without my attack bonus.
Yeah.
It's still what it did. And so there we go.
Because it's an offhand attack, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I just have the dual wielder feat, but I don't have the 2-weapon fighting style that lets me add my bonus. And offhand. Okay.
Alright, but hey, 23.
No, it's not, because I poisoned the rapier. And so, because it's poisoned, I also do an amount of poison damage equaling something in the neighborhood of poison basic, which I guess what I have. DC must make a DC 10 Constitution save, or it'll take 1d4 poison.
1d4 poison? What does Constitution say?
DC 10.
Okay.
I bet a dragon has a hard time doing a DC 10
Constitution?
con.
He has plus 17 on Constitution saves. He got a 29.
Well, that's what I got.
So elsewise he takes 1d4?
Elsewise, he takes 1d4
Alright.
of poisoning damage.
Or do you want to roll it?
Elwes.
Elwes. Do you want to roll 1d4? Or do you want me to?
No, he didn't. He saved the.
Oh, I thought you were saying if he saved, he still got 1d4.
No.
My bad.
Where is it in here about the +1 or whatever to like for? I'm trying to read it. I can't find it. Well, he's looking at that. Is it? So that was your turn, right?
Yeah, that was my turn.
Yes.
Not bad.
Alright, so it's the dragon's turn.
Yeah, I was going to try and find it on the manual for you here.
D&D DM book, page 60.
Okay.
Weapon +1, +2, +3. If you have a bonus to attack and damage rolls made with a magic weapon, the bonus is determined by the weapon's rarity. So if you get a bonus to your attack and damage rolls with +1 weapon. So you get your bonus to attack and damage.
So that's only in the DM guide, not in the player's handbook?
Evidently it's in the DM guide.
Okay.
Page 60 of the DM guide.
Okay. Alright.
And so yeah, you get the +1 or in your case
Yeah.
+4 or whatever to both.
Alright. Good to know.
Alright.
Okay.
The dragon will try to bite the drow that just was able to cause him damage. The first blood that he has spilt in a long time.
As a dragon, he's immune to bites.
So we're gonna call that a sleep attack.
It's a 31 to hit.
That was a sleep attack, right?
He's
Because I would like for it to be a sleep attack. Yeah, 31 is greater than my AC.
all right.
In case that's what you were hoping I would end up saying.
20 plus. Alright, so that's going to be. Also, what's your hit points? I'm curious.
149.
Alright, so you're still good. Alright, that's 20 piercing damage and 12 fire damage.
Dang. Fire damage.
Yeah, it's because it's his mouth. It's what's in there when they
Should have bit
bite.
you with his foot.
Okay. Which he does with you as he tries to claw that sword
Out of you. He is going to strike with his hand. 24 to hit.
It hits.
Okay. And that is going to be 16 slashing damage. And make a constitution save to see if you stay upright or not.
Okay. I'm just gonna...
Did he do disadvantage? He
Oh,
has
no.
disadvantage attacking him because
Okay.
of Panache.
So, what did I say? That was a 24 to hit?
You said 24 the first time.
Okay, with disadvantage. No, that was it with disadvantage. It was
Okay.
higher than that. It was higher than the second roll.
Okay, so you said it was 16.
16 slashing damage.
Okay. Alright. So that knocks me down to...
And then make a constitution save to see if you are knocked prone.
Okay. If I could only do that. And Constitution save?
Mm-hmm.
Constitution, you say? Let's see. Do I have advantage on Constitution saves or something?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a dex save. I was looking at the wrong thing. My apologies.
Are you sure? Could it be Constitution?
I would like to do dex saves. Can I dex save for him?
I would like to assist.
I would like to assist his dex save.
So let's say, because Constitution is my.
There's a strong suit.
Yeah, definitely would be. But, okay, so you said it was what? So
Dex.
dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's pretty low on this one.
That was a 2.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not that low.
Yeah.
You're knocked prone.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I have anything that will save me. Wait, so you can add half your proficiency bonus.
Oh, I didn't do my. I'm going to do a con save to see if I am no longer frightened.
So it'd actually be
15 plus 7 is 22.
It'd actually be 5, by the way, but I doubt that's 6.
Nope, sorry.
Okay, so
5
I'm
is not high enough. Yours is 22.
It is.
Alright, that breaks it.
I know that.
So you are no longer frightened.
Alright, is it my turn now?
And now it is your turn.
Okay. I stand up. And I attack. Oh my gosh. That's just awful. 3 plus. So 8.
Oh.
11. What?
But now that he's attacked you,
Mhm.
you have to make a wisdom save to see if you are frightened.
Oh, what is the. You said it's wisdom saving throw?
Yes, wisdom save.
Okay, let's see here. Shit. 19.
You are frightened.
Ah.
Sorry, it's a high one.
What does that mean?
It means that you can't willfully move towards him,
Well, I'm
and,
right
you
next to him at this point.
and you have disadvantage when attacking.
Ah! Stupid.
As long as you can see.
Okay, now that it's my turn, do I get to roll?
Yes,
to
now
save?
that it's your turn, you also get to save.
No.
Can you do that at the beginning of your turn?
Yes. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. Alright. Let's see here. So
Let's just
I...
made an attempt to save once per turn, so
Sure.
you can do it any point
That's
that you
true.
want.
Okay, so it is... Now I'm going to attack. I missed my first attack. I roll a 21 to hit.
21 does not hit.
21. Dang.
Even with all your pluses.
Yeah, I mean, if I could roll anything higher than a 12, that's a 20. Yeah, I rolled a 13 is my highest roll. I tell you what, just because I'm getting tired of missing, I'm going to try, I'm going to use my action surge. I get a second action, and for my second action, I'm going to attack 4 more times. That is finally, 27 to hit.
That is a hit.
And that does 1d8. Oh, I get to reroll. When rolling a 1 or 2 on a damage die for an attack, that you make with a melee weapon that you're wielding with two hands, you re-roll the die and must use the new roll, even if it's a 1 or a 2. So that is a 4, plus 4 is 8, times 2 is 16 damage.
All right, 16?
Yep.
And we're going to double that? So
No,
No,
16
that is
double.
double.
Oh, 16.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that is finally a hit, and then a 18, 12, 22.
22 hits?
22 hits. That is a 5 plus 4 is 9, 18 to hit.
All right.
Alright.
He now has several cuts against his legs. The dragon is in a bit of disbelief.
Alright, and okay, and that is my turn.
I say get out of here.
To you?
Run away.
Okay.
Run away.
Really?
Okay, I mean, I can, I guess. Well, so it's your turn, though. So
It is.
So I can't move at this point.
Oh, but you still have movement.
Yeah, but it's my turn.
Oh, and I can't say that in my free time.
You free action, you can speak.
So free action, I say before it's still your turn. Run away.
During my free action, you say run away.
I did.
Okay.
At least get 20 feet away.
Can you really say that in my free action? If the DM allows it, sure. Yeah. Okay, then
I'll let him yell, run away, run away.
Okay, then I will run south towards the mouth of the cave.
Okay. And so when he does that,
That's
you're at
20
least
feet?
he runs
Yeah.
25 feet.
25 feet.
25
Yeah.
feet.
Okay. Full movement, and so I cast Fairy Fire. So there are two of us within my 20-foot cube, me and the dragon, because he's 25 feet away.
Yes.
So we both need to make dexterity saving throws, which I
Okay.
pass. And so the dragon needs to make a dex saving throw against my charisma spellcasting. How does the spellcasting DC work?
I always forget
It's
this.
10 plus.
Plus whatever your casting modifier is.
Let's see here.
But it's got to be something more than that, because I've got an 18 charisma. My thing can't be 14.
Yeah. Is charisma the rogue's spellcasting modifier? I don't know.
It is for the
Yeah.
Oh,
Plus
for the
it-
swashbuckler.
It'll also be plus your proficiency.
Yeah, plus your proficiency.
Oh, plus my proficiency.
Yeah.
So it's 14 plus 6,
Is 20.
so it's 20. So,
Yeah.
so you need to make a dex save of 20.
So he fails the dex.
Okay.
Wait, no. He does pass that.
Okay. Oh, he passes it?
Yeah, it's a dex save, so he passes. 16 plus 8 on dexterity.
Can you do it again and fail? Because that was brilliant for me to cast Fairy Fire.
You know what? I'll
No, dude.
Well, because okay.
I mean,
Does fairy fire? What kind of damage is that? I'm curious.
0 damage.
Oh, okay.
No damage whatsoever.
There's no damage. Oh, okay.
But it's outlined in a colored light, and any creature in the area is outlined in a light if it fails the saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light within a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against the affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. So, for forever, for the rest of the battle,
Yeah.
every attack against the dragon would have
Unless this takes more than a minute. I mean, you guys
Unless
are.
it
This
takes
is
more
your
than-
6th round.
correct.
I'm just saying.
I'm glad you're keeping
And I'm not.
We're halfway through a minute already.
That's true.
You know, we'll say that it fails. Just
Because
to
it
make things long.
I mean,
it doesn't have
it's a decent thing to do because that's what
Your
happens.
spell save DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus. Plus, well, you said yours is charisma, right?
Mine would be charisma, so
but it's
4 plus my proficiency bonus of 6, so it would be 18. I just knew it couldn't be 14.
Yeah.
18, I believe. I knew that with an 18, it wouldn't be 14.
Yeah. I wonder
Okay.
what it's not adding. Why it has it as 14.
No, it's I was adding, and so I knew that it's not just 10 plus 4.
Gotcha.
He doesn't have my spell to save DC. So then that's what I do.
So does it affect you also, or did you say?
So I mean, I guess I can do that. I don't know how it works.
Wait, you should.
So I cast it on myself, or I cast it.
Well, he cast it in a cube.
I cast it in a cube.
No, it could emanate from.
It says any creature. No, any creature is outlined. So I guess I would need to make a
Well,
dex
what's
save.
the stuff? Does it emanate from
Fairy
a
fire.
point that you choose?
It says each object in a 20-foot cube within range, and so the range is 60 feet. So I can pick where that range is.
Well-
I'm going to put it right on me and the dragon.
Well, I would put it so that he's at the edge of the range, and you're not within the range of the 20-foot cube.
I mean,
if
yeah,
you
no,
don't
that's
have-
fine. I don't mind.
I'm just like-
two things.
Yeah, that should
Whenever
hold
I
on,
cast
hold on.
your effect spells,
No, because if
I
you
would
cast
just
something
like-
that emanates from you, it shouldn't include you.
Well, it doesn't emanate from me. I pick where the cube
it's from a
goes.
point that he chooses.
Right,
So
but
I would cast it like that. So
Okay.
the dragon's at the edge of the cube.
I have a plus 17 to my dex saves. So I'm going to say, or I guess plus 11 to my dex save. So I'm going to save, but even if I don't, I have something called elusive. No attacks can have advantage on you unless you're incapacitated. So even if I have fairy fire, there's no, unless I'm incapacitated, nobody can have advantage on me.
All right.
So it doesn't matter. I actually rolled a natural 20. It's on the tape. You can check the tape. I have not moved this dice. Why did I do it?
So one thing, the cube's point of origin is not included in the cube's area of effect unless you decide otherwise. So if it does emanate from you, it would not.
I can do 20 feet. Fair enough. So yeah,
Okay.
my grand plan to give you advantage on. I'm doing everything I can.
I know.
He has disadvantage on you. I was going to give you permanent
He's such a
advantage.
high. He's got such high bonuses and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it the dragon's turn now?
Yeah, now it's the dragon's turn.
Okay.
The dragon, now lit up, says, two can play the magic game, and he is going to cast Alright, he casts
Now I roll.
Prismatic Spray.
That sounds like a sleep spell.
Depends on which color of light hits you. Do a dex save.
Alright. 15 plus 11. 26.
You have to do one too. Wait,
What's the
'cause
range?
it's within 60 feet.
Okay. So what am I doing?
A dex save.
A dex save. So this would be 4.
4. Okay, that is not high enough. I'm sorry. So let's see what happens to you.
Nothing happens. On
Nothing whatsoever. 4 was what you wanted.
On exactly a 4, nothing at all happens, good or bad.
Green light hits you.
No, not green light. No.
You take 30 poison damage, but you have
Your
the Sword of
dwarf.
the Worm. No, he has the Sword of the Worm.
I'm immune. Hey,
Oh yeah, and dwarves can't be
They have
poisoned.
resistance.
They have resistance to poison.
So it'd be halved, but
It'd
it's Sword
be
of the
halved.
Worm. You're immune.
entirely.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing happens whatsoever.
Anyways, I have advantage on saving throws against poison.
no.
So even if
But that was a dex save.
no,
It wasn't a con save against
No.
poison.
I guess. Fine, whatever.
You're lucky that I rolled a 4 for that, because that's.
You're lucky I rolled a 4 for that. Okay, is it my turn?
Hey look, I don't want to talk about force, I want to attack a dragon.
Yeah, so the dragon then takes a swipe with his claw
And
at the drow within range. Wait, that's the wrong die.
No, you can roll a d6.
I can't roll more than a 6 here. I don't know what's going on.
With the D6, that would have been 23 to hit.
Oh, the D6?
Yes. With a 5. He gets a plus 18 to hit with the claw.
How is it plus 18? That means like guaranteed hit every time.
Yeah, because my AC is 18.
Yeah.
So literally, other than a critical failure.
That's what they're hoping for at this point. Alright, you take 16 slashing
I
damage.
feel like that's wrong.
That's 8. This is what we got.
I know.
What we got.
Alright, then.
You can't read any of that from here.
Anything else happen?
No.
I feel like every time he does something, he does 16 other things. So
That's usually how it goes.
He gets 2 attacks and then frightful presence.
so I need to roll against being frightened.
Oh yes, you will need, since he attacked you. You will need to roll against being frightened.
I mean, why did I even ask that? A 4 plus a 7, so I save.
That would be a fail.
No, you didn't hear me earlier. I said,
You said
literally said I saved.
Oh, bad. That's, if only.
If only.
Yes. But the frightened doesn't seem to affect you too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it gives you disadvantage when you attack.
Yeah, the thing is though, I'm currently frightened and I ran
You
away
can't
from you.
move closer.
Yes.
And my goal to give you permanent look, that's a true statement. Okay, I'm not gonna
But
lie.
it's your turn, right?
Yes.
Roll to see if you save.
No, it's still my turn. No, it was his turn.
Yes,
It's
it's
his
the
turn.
dragon's turn.
Never mind.
I was just looking at the stats for Riddick.
Yeah.
These ones show plus 14. Do
here.
you have plus 18?
That's what it has on here.
Why is that guy so much better?
It's an ancient red dragon.
Oh, ancient.
That actually matters.
Yes. This is on the Roll20 compendium. Let me tell you. Ancient. I just want a double red dragon? No, ancient.
Double red dragon. What's that? I know double dragon.
I want to see 2 dragons. Ancient red dragon.
I will use this time as a DM to remind you that there is a apothecary chest. That somebody with 60 feet of movement could run to if I have something in there.
Oh, we'll see.
I don't feel like that's what he would do.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so first I need to roll to try to save against being frightened.
Yes.
And what is is it wisdom? You said?
Wisdom, yes.
That's what I've been rolling this entire time, so if it's not, I'm wrong.
Yep, it's
19 plus 2 is 11, or 21.
21.
I want that to save, but it's 22.
I literally cannot save unless I roll a 20. Like, it's literally
Oh,
impossible.
is it
That's the highest you can roll?
Like,
I mean, you rolled a
You
19,
rolled a
and you got the 21.
Plus 2, huh?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. We'll give it to you because
I feel like whoever made this character, like, overpowered them. Because, like, it literally is impossible for me to save unless I roll a 20.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I guess if you had more than plus 2 on wisdom, then it would.
Right,
Yeah.
because I've got plus 7 on mine.
yeah, I've got plus 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a 15.
You
It's
know
not
what?
bad.
Yeah.
We're gonna lower him down a little bit because it's 12:45.
I mean,
so yeah.
if I'm not frightened, I literally can't do anything because I can't move towards him. So
if you're-
Well, I was gonna pull him closer to you. I mean, because we're just fighting, so I was gonna walk. I was gonna come and stand next to you.
Yeah.
Because I can't move closer to him either,
yeah.
but I can move closer to you.
No,
and then he will come
That's
closer
the
to us.
highest you can roll. We'll say that you save.
The highest I can roll is 22.
Yeah.
Like that's literally.
Outside of a 20.
Well, if I roll a 20 plus 2 is 22,
22.
and that's what the save is 22.
Yeah. No, that doesn't seem fair. So
Um,
we'll say that you saved.
Okay.
Because the character does seem quite overpowered.
Yeah. Well, like 'cause I looked on here and it's plus 17, which is still a lot, but that's not plus 18.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. Oh yes. Also, each creature within the dragon source within 120 feet of the dragon must on DC 21 Wisdom saving throw. Overcome private. Like I don't know if this guy just added 1 to everything to make it even harder for some reason,
Maybe.
or what? Because this is ancient red dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a raucous or whatever. So when you
I mean,
whenever
I
you
guess-
do, but like one of the things it talks about in the monster manual is like everyone isn't identical.
I guess that's true.
You know, there are going to be a range within
Yeah,
the monsters.
it is true.
But like I said, we'll give it to you so we can kill this dragon.
Okay.
Or he can kill one of you guys.
Oh, one thing it says. Wait, well, one thing. Well, again, this is just what was written for Ancient Red Dragon. Well, so this has frightful presence is like an action, not like if it gets attacked. Is that specific to if they get attacked?
This one is
It's called frightful presence.
frightful presence.
So it's an actual action that it uses. It doesn't have to attack. Like it can do it to anybody.
Yeah, well, it has it under lists of attacks. So that's
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to attack. It can just do it.
Oh,
as
I see
an
what
action.
you're saying.
As its action, it can do frightful presence.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So not when it attacks.
Yeah,
Um,
but I've been limited. It's limited to 3 attacks. So I haven't done more than 3
yeah.
with it, including it, because I've always done 2 things that cause damage and then frightful presence.
Yeah. And then it says if the creature's saving throw is successful or the effect ends, the creature is immune to the frightful presence for the next 24 hours.
Oh, so you're not frightened.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I saved from.
Okay. So. Well, so we can say I am afraid or am I not.
We'll say that you're not.
Okay. So
That's
I'm
good.
Okay. So
You
I'm
don't,
going
you
to
don't-
move.
You don't need the potion of heroism that was in the apothecary table. That would make you immune to being frightened.
No, I just figured I wouldn't have been like searching through a chest for something.
Yeah.
Well, you were afraid. The first thing you would do is run to the chest.
Well, he saw a glowing light the first time. I feel like that would make sense. The reddish brown substance
Mhm.
does not glow.
So, okay, so I'm going to rush up to him and I'm going to attack him with the sword. I'm not going to do a dang thing with it. That's a 14. I swear. Oh my gosh, 21.
You are now running the dragon.
The only. I ride the dragon. That's all I'm going to do. He can't swipe with me.
Yeah, actually, if you want to climb up top with him, you can do that as an action.
No, I don't have enough movement left this turn to do that. But no, I attack him 4 times and I miss every single time. I had 1 roll above 10 and it was 13. Like I cannot.
You gotta roll 14 or higher.
I know. Alright,
That's
it is your turn, Joseph.
6 and 20. That's a 3 in 10 chance.
Okay. Well, then I attack with my rapier. Yes, 18 plus 11
That hits.
is a hit, and so I do a d8. Why do I?
The only guy who's done damage to this dragon is the guy who's
Not
not
should
to
be.
be fighting. Like I
It's
said.
an 8, so 8 plus 5 is a 13, plus 6 plus 3 plus 1. So that's 10, so 15 plus it is 25. And then I literally can't hurt him with my dagger as my offhand, so that doesn't do anything, so I'm not going to.
Can you dodge as a bonus action?
I can.
So do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to dodge with a bonus action.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, that's the dragon.
I'm unfamiliar with dodge.
I get disadvantage. You get disadvantage if you're
Oh, okay.
He's like actively trying to
Got
dodge attacks.
He's going to take a bite at you. As you dodge, so. Which is a good idea. Because that's now his 6th one, so that is recharged.
Oh, dang it. Every single attack,
What?
starting at 5th level, when an attacker you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you. So not only can I dodge to give him disadvantage, I can uncanny dodge as a reaction. So I can use my bonus action to dodge and my reaction to uncanny dodge.
Right. So that's a 22 to
You
hit.
should do that.
Yeah, so I did that. That's with disadvantage?
That's with disadvantage.
Okay, well, I'm uncanny dodging.
Alright.
And a half.
So that would be 20 piercing plus 12.
Oh, no, I can dash, disengage, or hide. I can't dodge.
Okay.
I can dash.
So he
disengage,
hits you either way.
But I can't uncanny dodge
Okay.
on every move.
Well, that's 32 damage that you cut in half then.
32 damage I cut in half.
Alright.
So 111 minus 16.
16. Alright.
Or excuse me, 101 minus 16. 75.
Alright.
Yeah, you don't want to look like I'm running.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Because that's what I'm about to do.
But he now spins at you, and as he lets out a roar, he breathes fire and a huge cone of fire.
Okay.
Dex save.
I'm not really good at these. 8.
Yeah, no, that's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
And how many hit points do you have left?
A lot.
You got a lot? Okay. Hits you for 78 fire damage.
Okay.
Wow.
That's, yeah.
I'm going to use Indomitable to re-roll a saving throw that you fail.
Okay, it's a pretty high DC, but.
I mean,
It's so worth trying.
Yeah. Fine. Nope.
No.
That would be a 10, I think. Yeah.
Alright.
Or a 9.
You're still in
So
triple
it's-
digits
so it's-
though for the
So it's still
for damage. Or
No.
before that you were in triple
no.
digits.
So how much was the damage?
78.
Dang, Gina, how?
26 d6. I took the average.
Holy cow!
How often can you do that?
Once every 6 turns. So that's why he did it at the first, which you dodged. But then he hasn't done it until now.
All right. Aichiwawa, as they say.
Yeah, as they said.
Uh,
All right.
88.
But it is now your turn.
Okay, it is my turn.
So you can choose to attack or not.
All right. I am gonna attack him. Why not? So yeah, I mean, let's see here.
You can set Archonodrous trap.
Yeah, like that's
You
good.
do have the advantage again on all your attacks against him because he's outlined in the fairy light.
No, he's not.
No, remember he
saved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tried to do that.
Let's see here. I mean, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Do you have more fairy fire?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
Because I'm not. That's just drow magic.
Faster, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's something I can do as a drow, not something I can do as a swashbuckler.
okay.
Oh wait, actually, can we take a short rest?
Hey,
Because then I'll get some more.
Okay,
fire.
time out.
Time out, Arch.
It's a 22.
That
Finally,
hits.
I get a hit. Okay, that was on my second attack. And that is a. No, I can reroll that. For 3 plus 7, 14 damage.
Double that?
No,
Or is that
no,
double?
14 damage.
Okay.
And then we're going to attack. Oh, I can wait. No, I can't reroll ones. That's not a thing I do. I've not rolled a single 18 through 20, which would be a critical hit for me. But
That would be great.
yeah,
You should do that.
you should do that. Take that strategy. Yeah,
We tried it. It'd be good if you did some of that.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm going to. That's all I'm going to do. No. All right, so that's me.
Okay. Joel.
What do I need to do to climb on his back?
Guess do a dex roll.
Acrobatics.
Yeah, acrobatics. That's good.
Okay.
Your acrobatics versus his.
I'll do a dex contest on him,
Okay.
but so you're probably gonna win. It's actually-
14 plus 17 is a
Yeah.
31.
31 to his 13.
Okay, so I climb on his back, and what am I gonna do while on his back?
Now that I'm there,
Is that my action?
that
Would
would
you
be
call that
that
to be my that would be my movement? I still have action.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just stab him in the back of the head with the rapier.
Okay. I'll give you advantage on this.
7, 9 plus 11 is
Still
still
20.
insufficient. So that's what I do.
Okay.
he is going to try to buck you.
from him. So we're going to do a strength contest here.
Strength, eh? Can I use Dex? Can I use my acrobatics?
Yeah. I'll let you hold on with your acrobatics. You're probably going to win this.
14 plus 17 is a 31.
Yep, you beat his. His was 20, but you still won. What's it called? So you're still on his back. He decides to start heading after. Let's say turn around. I guess he'll just turn towards you since you're the only other person there. Then he can attack.
Where do you
Totally can use that more.
And he's going to swipe at you with a claw. 22 to hit.
Does that with disadvantage? Remember, he has disadvantage every time he attacks Wesson.
Oh, okay, that's 20 to hit.
20 still hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I can.
And he rolled a 2, and yeah, chances are he's
literally doing what I can.
Yeah, I know.
All right. How many hit points do you have left? I'm curious.
88.
Oh, okay, then you're good. Yeah, it does 16 slashing damage.
16.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And so he's going to say, you best get off of me, boy. That's the end of the dragon's turn.
Okay. So,
I don't like my food fighting this much.
food bye. Let's see here. Looking at the dragon, can I see any, like, what might be weak points where I might be able to get advantage if I were to swipe at him?
On his
I read The Hobbit. There is.
Yeah, there's like this thing.
There's one there.
Yeah.
It's just one.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Just one. On his underbelly,
Yeah.
there are some soft spots
Okay.
there if you could get a good solid attack at his stomach.
Okay. Do I need to do anything in particular other than just run up to him to do this?
You would have to get like under it,
Okay.
which
He is a dwarf.
yeah, I mean it's doable.
Okay.
It's doable.
Okay.
So
So running up underneath him.
okay.
So he's on top of me. Okay. Okay. So I stab up. Oh, it's too much. Oh no, they're leaving the cave.
That's what's happening.
Okay. So I stab up at him. Am I?
You're good.
So I can attack with advantage on this?
Yep, you'll tackle that with advantage.
Okay. Nope. Okay, so first attack, no. Second attack is a... No, oh my gosh. I think this die is broken.
Do you want to try another one?
No. Okay, finally.
That one was a
That
critical
was,
roll.
that was my third attack, and that was a 23 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And it is a... Ooh, finally. 8 plus 4, 12, 24 damage.
Okay.
Attack number 4. Oh, 22 to
That
hit.
hits.
And I do 5 plus 4, 9, 18 damage. I'm going to pull out as my. I'm going to use my action surge to take out my potion of healing. Actually, I forgot. Because I'm less than half health, I can use a. At the start of my turn, I regain 5 plus my Constitution modifier
Okay.
if I have no more than half. So I get 5 plus my Constitution is 3. So I got 8 there. So that puts me at 80.
So
I'm still below half, but so I'm at 80 health. I'm using my action surge to take a health potion.
regular health potion or that all heal potion that you get 3 shots of?
I'll do the. I'm just gonna do a regular healing potion, which is what is that 2d4 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And then, probably got right here. I can look.
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Character who drinks the magical red fluid of this vial regains 2d4 plus 2 hit points. Drinking or administering a potion takes an action.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? If I'm gonna do that, I might as well just use the
all
all heal.
Then you just
Yeah. Yeah, so it puts me back at 182.
all
Feels
feels
like three shots, right?
Yeah.
Alright, just so my turn.
I should have just bought some of those.
It's just like Link eating one of those fairies.
Or whatever he does.
Yeah, I assume that's what he's doing to get health.
Sounds right.
Everything.
Bites it off. So I guess I attack with my rapier. That is a 7. So I'm going to use Master Duelist, and my Mastery of the Blade lets me turn a failure into success in combat. If you miss with an attack roll, which I did, you can roll it again with advantage.
Okay.
Once you do this, you can't use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest. So with advantage, 12 plus 11 is a 23.
That hits.
So now it is D8 plus 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 4 is 19, plus 5 is 24. Plus 24 damage. And then I take the hide feature. I use my bonus action to hide on his back.
Okay.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
He knows that you're up there.
We got a dragon sandwich going on.
So that is what I do.
Okay. The dragon is going to. Now he is angry. He is hurt. He rears up on his hind legs and slams onto his own back, squishing you. Make a dex save to see if you can
Get away.
get away without being smashed.
A dex save is plus 11. 15 plus 11 is 26.
That is very lucky. Yeah, 26. You're good. You're good. I went with the what's it called? His fire breath dex save, which is 25. That's the highest one. So you get out of the way, but the dragon is now prone.
Is he like this?
Yeah.
Not just prone,
Wasn't
like
like underneath.
I was underneath him.
You were underneath him.
I was underneath
But
him.
he flipped over.
Yeah.
He flipped over. So now
I rub his belly. Yeah. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Think of like the like Bender when Bender falls on his back in Futurama.
So
he's swearing.
So where am I? Am I leaping off?
Yes, you have leaped out of the way, rolled off to the side.
All rakish and whatnot.
Yeah. You're now. We'll say that you're 15 feet away with your roll. The dragon's now 10 feet from you.
Okay.
But he is prone, and it is up to you what you want to do.
Okay. I'm going to run up to him and stab at him.
Okay.
Pocket knife. Okay. Since he's prone, do I get advantage?
Yes, you do.
on my attack here. Okay. So for my first attack, I got a. Hey, look at that! Finally, I wasted 2 actual hits on my advantage roll. So that's 23 to hit. That would be a 14 damage.
14. Okay. Okay.
And then my second attack misses. My third attack 20. Okay, so that is a critical hit. So that is a 2 plus 4 is 6, 6, 12, 24 damage.
You doubled it twice.
I doubled it. It was 2 plus 4 is 6. So double that is 12. Double that is 24.
24. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So with that final hit, you take both hands and you plunge the longsword deep into the dragon's chest. It gives out one final roar, a little puff of smoke emanating from its mouth as it lolls to the side. Having passed the damage threshold of 173, you have vanquished the dragon.
Okay.
So he is now dead on his back.
And I don't even have a scratch on me.
Actually, you don't. At
An
this point.
85.
How about you, Drow?
Yes.
I cast darkness.
I was gonna say I attack the drow.
I cast darkness.
Yeah, I've got the magical sword, 2 potions of healing, and 2 more swings of a heal all potion.
You know what? It'd actually be fun to finish this out.
You got faster movement than me though, so
I do. I could run away.
I would be in trouble. I think.
But actually, like, the swashbuckler is designed for one-on-one combat.
Oh yeah.
But you get so many more attacks on every turn.
Yeah. It's just really hard when the AC of and I roll terrible.
Right.
Like I have a feature where 18 through 20 is considered a critical. I got it 1 time and it was a 20 anyway.
Yeah.
Literally 1 time. Like I don't know. This is balanced for everything under 10 or something.
That you know it's possible that they're not.
I mean, it's possible. I got that's what it is. Oh, now I just got 18 to 20 and a 20 and a 19. There they are. I was saving them.
Yeah, but you know, going after a dragon with like 2 very melee for Propogus.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like the DM intentionally made him never fly and things like that. We're there underneath, just swinging our swords.
So we're just there. He's looking at us like, we can stay here.
It's
It's not a tower, just to stand.
It's our goal.
And as soon as you fall, I'm just gonna hold my sword like this.
And so, all is right in the world.
So I pack up all the gold in my pack. All of it. I mean.
We fight to the death.
So you rest there that evening. You go back to town carrying some
give me a D20 roll.
of what you found.
Yeah, no, just give me a D20, straight D20.
11.
I killed him.
Oh no, but I have a proficiency in BS.
I got a BS save modifier.
Going back to the town, you hire that young boy and his family to be your squires.
To be my everything.
You
I hire the town.
I'm not telling anybody where this is.
Taking the entire hoard, it is valued at 37,930 gold pieces between everything that is in there.
So what's that split, 60-40?
Let's see.
Keep in mind, I'm very good at sleight of hand.
5 by 60.
Keep in mind, I can swing my axe a lot.
So that would be 22,758.
Because it matters.
15,172.
It totally matters right now.
You are also able to skin the dragon and use its hide to make three dragon scale armor. 3 sets of dragon scale armor. Which makes
someone got up to 100 in smithing?
I don't think he played Skyrim.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Sorry. But it makes the wearer resistant to fire-based attacks.
Ooh.
For the record, at the end of our last
Is it considered to be light armor?
It does not have that on here. Probably not.
Well, then it doesn't do me much good.
Technically, it's leather.
It doesn't do me much
It's
good.
good. I mean, it's reptile.
Reptile
It's
leather.
reptile.
Snake skin.
Yeah, because you
What's
buy
the
snakeskin boots.
Yeah. So that's the end of the one shot. That took us about 3 hours of actual play to do.
Was that one night?
One night. And
Which I think is the first time of our one shot.
Actually, the time when we did it with Anthony, I think that took even longer.
that one did take longer. That one was also a one shot.
That was a lot more complex too.
It was.
This one was pretty straightforward.
This one was.
It was
The
designed
goblins
to
that
work.
go
Yeah.
fight the dragon.
Well, you didn't even have to kill the goblins.
Yeah.
You had to walk in the front door, but
You could have. Yeah, you could have walked in the front door. And there was a 50-50 chance that he'd be asleep, and there was a 50-50 chance that he'd be on the upper ledge or lower ledge. That's why I did those 3 rolls. To is he on the upper part or lower part? Is he awake or not?
well, it was good. I had fun.
So should we just leave this for whoever comes next? And they could be like,
They'd be like, what the heck is this?